We're live here on 88.7 KWDM, The Point. I'm Ian Nelson alongside Cole Sunderman. It's just the two of us tonight for some nice high school hoops action. We got a doubleheader here in the CIML. Your Valley Tigers inside Bill Caldiron Fieldhouse take on the Dragons of Johnston. We start with the girls matchup. The number 1 ranked Johnston Dragons come in to Valley High School inside Valley High, trying to keep their 17-0 record alive. The Tigers trying to get a big statement win at home in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, and this is a game where this is a very tall task. You see the name Johnston, and you know it's going to be very tough. And I do think the Tigers have a real chance in this game. If they can start hitting some shots, then they could really make a run and get up in this game. And they have to get off to a fast start. Johnston has beat a couple teams, including Urbandale and Omaha Marion out of Nebraska, where in the Urbandale game they led 29-5 after the first half, and against Omaha Marion they led 21-2 after the first half. And against a team like that, you clearly cannot get down that big. They're just too good. They're never going to let up. So you have to start hitting some shots. You know, in the Dowling game, that came to the forefront, especially Waukee Northwest. Those kinds of games, the Tigers just couldn't buy a bucket, especially from 3. And this is a game that you really do have to start hitting some shots, and they've been real inconsistent there. But they have shown to be streaky and have a chance to really get hot.
Yes, they do. Johnston, one of the best teams in the country, not just the state of Iowa, in the country, and it comes off of the hot hands, the senior number 10, Jenica Rain Lewis. She has had herself a season and is continuing and is looking to continue to do so. Wow, can't speak. Just shows the excitement for tonight. Last time the Tigers took on the Dragons, it was at Johnston, and the Tigers took a loss, 72-82. It came off of the sharp shooting of Lewis, who had over 30 in that matchup. Another good night is expected tonight. The big storyline, I feel, coming into this one, we have the starting lineups for both teams. We'll get into that in a second. But the storyline, Mariah Dixon, who is one of the better players on this team, is actually 4th in overall scoring, is not starting. She has started all 17 of the Dragons' previous games, is not starting in this one. She has the size advantage over a lot of the Tigers, but the Dragons choose not to start her in this one. Instead, it goes to Jalea Kinnetz. She is a senior and has not started a game yet this season. Played in 11 of the 17, but hasn't started one yet. She gets the start tonight over the Tigers.
Yeah, and when you have something like that, that's just that little twinge of hope there that you see, okay, there's something that already went right for us. And if you can just use that and just use that little bit of momentum and just let that fuel yourself, it doesn't need to be a lot. Just find something, that motivation, that drive, that feeling of we can do this. And if they come out with the fire and know how well they can play, they have a chance in this game. But if Johnston is just able to control everything and really assert their dominance, which they've shown to do, then this game could get out of hand. But the Tigers do have the shooting and offense to keep up with it. You mentioned that past game where it was 82-72 Johnston, and Valley hasn't given up that many points a whole lot. They've given it up a couple times, but if you can hold Johnston to maybe even just 70, then you have a real chance in this ball game. And like people like Jenica Lewis, you can't let her you can't let her go off for 30. You know she's gonna get hers. She's gonna put up a lot of stats, but if you can hold her to 15, 20, then you'll give yourself an advantage in that area.
Yes, you will. And I think holding this team doesn't matter the points, doesn't matter really. If you can just hold this team, that's where wins come out. And we mentioned Jenica Ray Lewis, the senior. She is a Notre Dame commit, D1 Notre Dame commit, one of the best players to come out of the state of Iowa in the last 5 years since Caitlin Clark from Dally went to Iowa University. Of course, you have Audie Crooks, who was on our Instagram page earlier from Algona, went to Iowa State. But yes, another great basketball player out of the great state of Iowa going out of state to Notre Dame. The Irish, a really good women's basketball program, and she's going to be a great addition to that one.
Yeah, and in this game, you know how good Jenica Lewis is. She had 5 Division I offers from really good programs, from Notre Dame, obviously, where she committed to, and then Iowa, North Carolina, Oregon, and TCU. Those are some really solid women's basketball programs, so you know how good she is, and you have to force somebody else to make a play. And you look at this Johnston team, and outside of Jenica Lewis, there's some players that have stepped up in various games, but they haven't been doing it consistently. And there's Jalea Kennitz, who's shot 8 for 8 in their 6-point victory over Northwest, in their victory over Omaha Marion, and shot 6 for 6 from the 3-point line. So there's people that can make plays, but they haven't been as consistent.
We will now take a quick break for the playing of our national anthem, and we will be right back here on 88.7 KWDM, The Point.
Driving means
freedom,
exploration,
fun,
pride,
flexibility,
protection, friendship,
escape,
independence.
Distracted driving means
danger,
recklessness,
irresponsible,
chaos,
police,
devastation,
injury,
death.
Safe driving means staying alert and staying alive.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council. When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun, and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey friends, today I'm making this promise. I will always listen to anything you need to say, no matter what. The Lifeline is there for you, and so am I. Use hashtag suicide is preventable, hashtag 800-273-TALK, hashtag let it out, and help people feel connected while they're going through tough times. This message was brought to you by the Suicide Prevention Lifeline and by 88.7 KWDM The Point.
Never mind. Hold on.
You're in Des Moines, Iowa. What better thing is there to do than listen to some modern rock? This is that place. It's 88.7 KWDM The Point. You're tuned into the point, so don't move a muscle and keep on with 88.7 KWDM The Point, West Des Moines, Iowa.
We're back on 88.7 KWDM The Point. It's time for the girls basketball, but we'll get right into the starting lineups for the Johnston Dragons. Number 10, the senior, Jenica Rain Lewis. Number 14, the junior, Ariana Phillips. Number 20, also a junior, Adea Phillips, the sister combo. Number 22, Kelly Kalb, the sophomore. And number 23, rounding out the lineup with her first official varsity start of the year, Jalea Kinnitz, a senior. Now for the Tigers, number 3, Carrie Rose, a senior. Number 4, Bailey Utoff, the junior. The junior, number 11, Tylee White, the senior. Number 12, Avery Moon. And rounding out the Tigers, it's number 20, the junior, Olivia Adams. It's time for tip-off. Quick last thoughts before we get into this tip-off.
Yeah, you just have to get off to a fast start. Can't be intimidated, as I've been really trying to say throughout this pregame. And in this game, if you can get hot, you can win this game for sure.
We'll see what's going to happen. We got 8 minutes up on the clock to start this first quarter. It's Moon and Phillips, Adaya Phillips taking the tip, and the Dragons win it. Now outside, there's Kinnitz. Kinnitz guarded by White. Top of the key now, back to Kinnitz. Kinnitz driving, sidestep, and Adams switches on top of her. Now it's outside. That's Kelly Kolb. Now inside, Phillip to Phillip. Now it's to Kinnitz. Kinnitz goes underneath, top of the key, back to Kalb. Outside to Phillips. That's Ariana Phillips. Gets it to Kinnitz, the 3. Got it to go. Jalea Kinnitz, you mentioned her three-point shooting ability. She starts out the night with the 3 for the Dragons. They're up 3-0. 7 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock in this first quarter. Moon hands it to herself. Now to White. White drives in, steps up, draws the foul.
Yeah, and that's something that you have to do in a game like this. You have to get to the line. You have to get some of their best players in foul trouble, and scoring with the clock stopped is huge.
So 7:09 on the clock now. Tylee White at the charity stripe. The first one money. Tigers got to stay strong on defense after this shot. And that shot's a make. Hits off the back iron in. So Tigers trail by 1, 2-3. They got to keep this lead as close as possible to the Dragons before they strike. That's Lewis working on, driving inside, puts up a shot. Doesn't fall, rebounded by White. Now inside to Moon. Moon gets it, just throws it away. Ball's on the ground, Adams has it. Gets it to Rose. That was scary for the Tigers, but now top of the key is White. Some fancy dribbling. White drives in. Shimmies and gets the pass out. Now Olivia Adams, heavily guarded by Kolb. Now right side corner is White. Drives in, off the backboard in.
And those kinds of offensive possessions are exactly what they need.
White showing some great promise for the Tigers early. Now outside it's Phillips, the 3, no good. Rebounded, ball's loose, and now the Dragons recover it. Now it's inside to Kolb, back outside. It's Kinnitz. Kinnitz have it. Now it's Kolb. Kolb trying to get something to go. Now that's Ariana Phillips. Phillips outside. Lewis. Kolb, 3, no good. Rebounded. Moon has it. It's picked up. That's Phillips to Phillips. Phillips finally gets the rebound. Ariana Phillips was bobbling the ball above her head. Finally gets it. Drives inside. Puts the basket in.
Yeah, and Johnston was just so physical on the glass that possession. That's what scored them those points.
Olivia Adams now has it with a deficit. 4-5 in favor of Johnston. Rose now to White. White top of the key. Tigers have it right to left. Stolen. It's Phillips. That's Adaya Phillips driving in. Puts up the basket too hard on it. Rebound. That's Kinnitz has it. Just throwing her body is Kinnitz and draws the foul.
Well, again, it's that defense from Johnston, and you've really seen it in this game. They've just been all over the place, and that time just took it right away and wasn't able to get the layup first, but just being on that offensive glass every single time.
Jalea Kinnitz hits the first free throw. She's not the best free throw shooter. 3 for 10 on the year. Make it 4 for 10 now. And I mean 4 for 11, now 5 for 12 as she hits both of them. 4 to 7. Dragons have the lead. Moon comes out for Jenna Fuller. Fuller now loses the ball but regains it. Heavy pressure from Kolb. Now it's Uthoff. Uthoff to Adams. Adams now recentering back to Rose. Rose has it, can't pick up that pivot foot, does it, and gets it to Fuller. Fuller now behind the back, one of the better dribblers on this team. Kylie White now, shot clock down to 10. White has to get rid of it or find an open shot. And it's stolen away. Jenica Lewis has it in transition. Now White swats it away. Lewis gets the rebound, put too much on it. Outside it's Kin, it's the 3 ball from her. Not good. Rebound is Kolb. Kolb just throws it away. Rebounded by Bailey Uthoff. Uthoff now has it. They had the numbers, but slow it up because it was almost thrown away. Adams now tries to shoot it, doesn't, gets it out to Fuller. Fuller now drives, throws up a shot, no foul called, rebounded by Adaya Phillips. Phillips now drives, loses the ball, goes out of bounds. She keeps it, and that's actually Ariana Phillips who had the ball. That's going to be a nightmare tonight. Ariana and Adaya Phillips, twins, identical twins, and they are some of the better shooters in this game. Right now, though, Johnson can't shoot the ball as that was a missed 3 by Jenica Lewis. Ball's on the ground. Johnson picks it up, gets tied up, and it's a position arrow in favor of the Tigers. Valley takes a timeout. So the lead's 4 to 7 with 4 minutes and 12 seconds in this game.
Well, at this point, you're happy to be down 3, and especially because Johnston has had so many just really great opportunities to score. They had that open 3 in the corner from Kinnitz. They had a couple of transition layups that they weren't able to hit, and Lewis hasn't gotten going yet. And so that's really what's scary right now is that Johnston is really feels like they're handling this game so far in the early going, and Lewis really hasn't made her mark on this game yet. She has shot quite a few shots though already.
That she has, and she hasn't made one yet.
Mm-hmm.
That is not common for Jenica Lewis, who is one of the most consistent shooters in the state of Iowa. Tigers have it now coming out of the jump ball. It's Uthoff. Hands off to White. White step backs, decides not to shoot it. Fuller now to Rose. Rose also decides not to shoot it. This Tiger team trying not to shoot shots that they don't want. Blocked is that one. Rose tries to go up with it. It was blocked by Johnston. That ball goes out of bounds. Johnston thinks it's theirs. Refs disagree. Valley will now take it. Fuller gets it. Uthoff all alone now drives. Puts up a shot and she travels. Clearly seen on that one. Just drags her foot too much. Turnover. Johnston has it. So now Lewis taking it out. At that point guard position. Lets the ball go to Kinnitz. Kinnitz now crosses the midline court. She drives. Heavy pressure outside. That's called now to Phillips. Ariana Phillips with it. Decides for the mid-range jumper. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Kolb. Kolb got it. Now to Kinnitz. Kinnitz, the 3. Also not good. Rebounded. Adaya Phillips gets pushed to the ground by Bailey Uthoff. Draws the foul.
Well, Johnston has been settling for some shots on that possession. It was the mid-range, just could have had a much better shot, but then again on the offensive glass and then being able to get an open shot.
So the Dragons will have it underneath the basket. Lewis gets it into Kinnitz. Kinnitz trying to find something now. Both teams have been scoreless for a good couple of minutes. Ariana Phillips on the right side corner. They operate left to right. Behind the back, she's working on Moon. Drives in the step back jumper. It falls short. Called now. Has it. 4 Tigers on her. White, Kolb get tied up with the ball. And it's going to be in favor of the Dragons after the jump ball.
Yeah, it feels like in these last couple of possessions for the Tigers, in these last couple of defensive possessions, they've really been matching the physicality of Johnston.
And in come Mariah Dixon and Paige Ondernock for the Dragons as the Phillip twins come out.
And that one being knocked away, that's just another time of just another instance of great defense.
Yeah, it is. Andernock now at the top of the key. Gets it inside. Lewis now trying to get her first points of the night. Can't do so. Tried to get her own rebound, and wow, I thought she was the last one to touch it, but the refs say no. It will keep it. Lewis still underneath the basket after it looks like she was there when the ball fell, but gets it into Andernock. 32 seconds on the shot clock, 2-4 left in the first quarter. Ball goes up in the air. Dragons have it called now. That's to Dixon. Dixon, the three ball. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by the Tigers. That's number 10 now for the Tigers. Tenley Uthoff. Inside is Fuller. Fuller tries to put up a shot. Can't get it go. Moon rebounds it. Hand in the face. No foul. Rebounded by the Dragons. Dixon now taking it up for the Dragons to Lewis. Lewis drives in. Ball poked free. Andernock there to grab it. The ball gets swatted and it helps it go in. Dragons now with the lead, 4-9. Almost shot by White. White puts it off, gets her own rebound, goes around the basket, and that one falls in. Tigers get their first points in over 2 minutes, 6-9. Dragons lead by 3. 1:50 remaining in this first quarter. Ball poked free. Tenley Uthoff forces the turnover, hits it off of Mariah Dixon, and will take the ball.
Yeah, and on that last offensive possession, even though Fuller wasn't able to finish the layup, she was getting in the paint, and that opened up everything for this Tiger offense.
So now Tenley Uthoff will take it up for the Tigers. Heavily guarded by Dixon. Finally gets away from the pressure, gets it to Moon. Avery Moon, one of the more consistent players on this team, off the backboard and into the rim. 8-9 Tigers, trailing by 1 now. It'll be big if they can be even remotely close at the end of the first quarter. Inside, Andernock. The pump fake gets it to go and 1.
Yeah, and on that possession, that was just a defensive breakdown. She was in the paint and trying to recover, just slapped it right on the arm.
That she did. So Andernock will go to the free throw line. On the year, she's 18 for 30. Make it 19 for 31, a 60% free throw shooter. Gives the Dragons a 4-point lead, 8-12, 1:12 on the clock. The three ball from Tenley Uthoff can't go. Rebounded by Dixon. Dixon now taking it up. Now it's to Kinnitz. Kinnitz to Kolb now. Kolb has it guarded by Fuller. The height differential is seen, but there comes Tylee White for the block, and now Tenley Uthoff has it. Keeping the ball. She crosses the midcourt. 54 seconds on the clock. Jenica Ray Lewis is off the court right now, which could explain some of the Dragons' issues. 41 seconds. Tigers need to find something. There's Adams' three ball. Good! And now it's to 1. Shot clock is off. 30 seconds. They'll hold it for the last shot, but they got to hold it for 30 seconds. The Tigers' defense can't let go. They have to stay strong. They can't let any open slides up towards the basket. Kinnitz now trying to direct traffic. Guarded by Adams. Kinnitz has it close to the score bench. Now she'll start to drive. 7 seconds. Loses it. Goes up. Now there's Dixon. Loses the ball. Ball's on the ground. Valley has it. Valley gets the turnover right as the shot clock expires. So at the end of the first quarter, with a great play out of the Valley Tigers, they only trail by 1. It's 11-12 after 1.
Yeah, and especially that three near the end of the first quarter with about a minute left, that was absolutely monumental because this offense had really been stagnated. Credit to Johnston, but this offense had been stagnated, and that three that could open things up for this team. And for Johnston, it feels like when they've had some close games, it's been in low-scoring games. Like their most recent game was against Dowling, where they only won by 6, and it was 49-43. And in that game, it was very similar to this one. It was 11-10 at the end of the first quarter. Johnston in front. So if the Tigers want to win this game, this this was exactly what they needed. They've weathered the storm. They haven't let Johnston just take control of this game. And if they want to win this game, they're going to have to continue hitting shots. They're going to have to continue opening up the defense. And most importantly, they have to keep playing with that same intensity on the defensive end.
Yes, they do. And that's one thing to mention, this Valley team. You mentioned it before. A lot of their stuff is up and down. They'll start one quarter good, then go quiet, good, and then quiet. They were really good in this first quarter. It's going to be monumental to start this second quarter just as hot and not let the Dragons take any control. That's not a good start. Jenna Fuller loses it. It is tipped, so even though she has to go, and she is fouled, Ariana Phillips just a little too physical on that opening drive and draws the foul.
Yeah, just got it poked into the backcourt, and then she continued to have that intense defense. So that is just how Johnston's been playing. You're going to have to get used to it.
Yes, it is. So Olivia Adams now taking it up, guarded by Kinnitz. Now it's Fuller. Fuller just throws it underneath the legs of Tylee White, and it will go to the Dragons. Some miscommunication early. You can't let that bug you. You had the Dragons kind of upset. You can't let them score and just regain all the momentum you just had coming out of the first quarter break. So now it's Kolb. Kolb guarded by Tenley. Now it's to Kinnitz. Kinnitz driving in, decides against it, gets it to Phillips. Now that's to Lewis. Lewis back inside, Adiah Phillips to her sister Ariana Phillips. Back to Adiah Phillips underneath the basket, good.
This ball movement has been killing the Tigers.
Yes, it has, 11-14. Dragons lead by 3, 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Now to Fuller. Fuller drives, gets it around, Utah. Utah, some fancy handwork, trying to just get away from Kolb's pressure. Now to Fuller. Fuller tries to fit it in between the legs of the Dragons, and they're going to say the Dragons kick it. So it will stay with the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's Fuller has struggled a little bit in this early going and getting some tip aways and missing some shots, but that time she was able to get into the paint and just had it knocked away.
So out for Fuller is Carrie Rose. Moon has it now at the top of the key. Now to Rose. Rose to Adams. Takes the three. Money. Tie ball game. 14-14. 6:40 remaining in the first half. Now this is where you got to prove yourself. Can't show that first quarter was a fluke. You got to get a big defensive stop if you're the Tigers. Playing some good defense. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 10 already off. And miscommunication. Carrie Rose distracts Lewis, and Adiah Phillips throws the ball right into the student section.
Yeah, she thought that Lewis was going on a back cut, and Lewis just backed off, and it was right into the student section.
Rose got in front of Lewis and could not get to the back cut, so now the Tigers have it with a chance to take the lead. Olivia Adams now has it. She has the lane, gets it to Rose. Rose decides against the three, now drives in, gets it to White. White, some good passing and going. There's Tenley Utah. Utah has it, guarded by Dixon. Dixon now to Rose, three. Can't get it, short air ball. Lewis has it now in transition with the Dragons. They have the numbers. Driving up, gets it. That's Kinnett's three ball, too hard, rebounded by Dixon. This Tiger team hasn't been rebounding good. The underneath can't get it to Kinnitz. So now Tigers have it. White trying to find something. The Tigers were saying play with pace. They decide to slow up instead. So now Utah has it right side corner, slowing it down. Moon has it. Excuse me. Now Moon almost losing. Now does lose it. There's Kinnitz on transition. 2 against 1. There's to Dixon. Dixon gets the layup to go. Retakes the lead. 16-14. Tigers now trail by 2. 5:18 remaining in the first half. Utah gets it to Rose. Rose decides against it. Rose trying to find something. Guarded by Kinnitz. Now gets it stolen away. That's Mariah Dixon. I'm sorry, Arna Phillips. Now Lewis. First points of the day. Yes, she does. Three-pointer is good for Jenica Lewis and puts the Dragons up by 5. 14-19 is the score. Tigers take a timeout. 4:58 remain in the first half.
Yeah, and that is a completely necessary timeout. This game is starting to tilt a little bit. It really hasn't had that feeling yet, and you know Johnston's going to go on a run at some point, whether it's 7-0 or like a 20-2 run. You just can't let it be that 20-2 run. And you know Johnston is capable of it. That's what you're scared of. That's why you call the timeout. But for the Tigers, they just can't let this run continue much longer. You have to stop the bleeding and limit these Johnston runs.
Yes, you do. Valley will now come out. Fuller into Adams. They trail by 5 with 4:55 remaining in the first half. They need to get some big points. They've been silent for the last couple of minutes. Uthoff now. That's Bailey Uthoff into Fuller. Now to Adams. Adams loses Kinnitz for a second, but Kinnitz gets back on the defense. Adams gets it to Fuller. Fuller trying to find something now to Tylee White. White has it driving up. This can't pull up. Gets the thing. And she travels. Try to draw the pressure. Picks up the pivot. Walks with it and gets called for a travel.
Yeah, went into a 2-on-1 and just a really hard position.
So now Jalea Kinnitz will take it up for the Dragons. There's Dixon. Dixon trying to get around Adams. Adams stays tall in her defense. Now it's to Phillips. Phillips to Lewis. Lewis trying to find something. 2 people on her. There's Mariah Dixon wide open. Pressure regains. Now they're back to a press coverage. The pull-up jumper from Kinnitz is good. So 21-14. Dragons continue to run with it. So Tigers have it now, trying to cut this lead short. It's a 6-point lead. Bailey Uthoff has it. Left side corner. Now goes up to the middle. Has Hadley White. The 3 from her is good.
She was deep in the corner behind the backboard, a really tough angle. And that is a huge shot. You stop this run and you force a timeout.
That they do. Johnston takes their first timeout of the night with a 4-point lead, 17-21. The lead from 7 cut to 4. What do the Tigers need to do coming out of this timeout break on defense?
On defense, they have to continue bothering Jenica Lewis, and she's scoreless so far. She has 3. I looked at the wrong thing. But that is exactly what you need to do. And they've bothered her a little bit. There was on a double, I think it was last possession on defense, they doubled her out past the perimeter and she passed it off and she looked a little frustrated. So that's what the Tigers are going to have to do, limiting their best player.
And they need to amplify that frustration, and it's going to be on this defensive possession coming out of the timeout break. Johnston needs to get a good basket. Lewis is double teamed. The ball's thrown away. Last touched by Ariana.
I think they
call
a foul
on Moon.
I think on
Wow.
the input pass, they might have called just a push in the back.
They say I think they hit her wrist is what the call was. Moon hit the wrist on Ariana Phillips. So now open 3 for Dixon. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Uthoff out of the inbounds. Now it's Tenley Uthoff with it. Uthoff to Uthoff. Now to Moon. Moon on the left side. Top of the corner. Guarded by Adiah Phillips. Moon can't get away from the pressure. There's Adams now. The shortest versus the tallest. It was Adams against Lewis. Now it's the Tenley Uthoff. Adams by herself underneath the basket. Just throws it away right into the hands of Uthoff off of the pressure. Now to her sister Uthoff. Can't get the 3 to go. As the shot clock expired, just needed to get a shot up. Now Jenica Lewis with the numbers. Throws up a shot. Trips on Fuller and gets the foul to call.
Well, for Fuller on that's a really hard position in transition. Jenica Lewis with a full head of steam, and Fuller not being very tall. That's a really hard position. Stayed pretty vertical. Just a great job by Lewis.
Yes, they clipped ankles, and Lewis goes down, and her frustrations continue as she misses the first of 2 free throws.
And just watching her body language throughout this game, if these struggles continue, that'll be really telling on how she can, if she can improve throughout the game.
So a couple of substitutions for each team as Lewis goes for her second shot. and misses the second. 0 for 2 on that visit. Adams now still with the 4-point deficit. The Tigers trying to get something to go in these last 2.5 of the first half. Fuller hits the ball out of bounds and hits hard. Wow, that's
I
Fuller
don't know about that.
Fuller gets pushed to the ground, ends up face down on the floor, and nothing called. And they say the ball goes off of her hands.
Might have tried to sell it a little bit, but I do think it was still a foul.
So Dragons have it now. Kolb has it. Heavy pressure. Tigers in a 3-2 set on defense. On the offensive side for the Dragons, they go 5 wide. Lewis goes up with it and fouled on that attempt.
Well, Lewis now, she's figured out, okay, I'm not getting the shots that I usually am, so I'm just going to take it myself. And she's called her own number these last couple times, and she's forced up some tough shots, but gotten the foul in these last 2 possessions.
And finally, she gets a shot to go. That first free throw attempt is good.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see her miss 2 very often. She's an 86% free throw shooter,
Yes,
so
she is.
don't get used to that.
No. When you need a shot up, don't foul Lewis has usually been the call. And those first 2 free throws must have been a fluke because she goes 2 for 2 on that visit. Re-puts the lead to 6, 17-23. Tigers trail, 2 minutes remaining. 3 airballed by Tenley Utah. Now Tylee White trying to get something. There's Fuller. Gets it to Adams. This Tiger offense has been quiet, but that 3 from Fuller, no good as it's rebounded by the Dragons. Kolb pushing the pressure up. Steps back, keeping it at the top of the key. Now it's to Kinnitz. Inside to Aubernock. Aubernock goes up with it, rebounded by White as that attempt was no good.
And that time I thought there might have been a foul too. Fuller was getting really handsy.
As she was. Fuller, 3 from the same spot, can't get it to fall. So the Tigers just can't shoot the ball very well right now as the Dragons have it. Goes underneath. Fuller gets the rebound, I guess you could say, off the missed pass. And so Tenley Utah trying to find something. Now to Fuller. Fuller on the right side corner. Fuller to Adams on the left side. Now deep corners Tenley Utah, bringing it back center. Utah trying to find something. Guarded by Ray Lewis. This pressure from Johnston has been suffocating so far. White gets it. Adams, 3. Money.
Yeah, and she's really been the only one that's been hitting shots for the Tigers, and she has been hot.
So 20-23, 4-second differential from the game clock and shot clock. 30 seconds on the game clock. 20 on the shot clock now. Ariana Phillips trying to get something before the half ends. Valley, it will be a minor victory going into halftime with this short of a deficit. They're hoping to get one last possession. Kinnitz falls but sells the fake a little too hard. Nothing called. The ball's loose.
Oh my goodness. A foul called. Oh my goodness. Just went in on a spin move and calling a slap on the arm. That's just one of those bailout fouls.
Brutal. Tenley Utah gets called for the foul at the exact same time the shot clock expires.
Great defensive possession, just got the foul called.
And the first free throws made, that is one of the more questionable calls of the night. I really think you got to let that one go just because of how short it is. And actually the whistle blew after the shot clock, so that's something to look about. Both are made, so Valley 4 seconds down by 5. Ball poked free, 3 seconds now. Johnston's going to play pressure just to not let Valley get a shot at before half. So 3 seconds, get it into Adams. Adams has to shoot it. Oh, Fuller, 3 at halftime. Too much on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, with 3 seconds, she got the ball and then passed it. I was surprised to see it, but great awareness. Just couldn't get the catch and shoot for Fuller to fall, and that's really been the struggle for the Tigers. It's really only been Tylee White and Olivia Adams in this game. They have 18 of the Tigers' 20. They're going to have including Adams and White. They have to stay hot, but you have to have other players, whether it's one of the Utahs or Jenna Fuller or one of those. You have to have somebody else get going if you want to beat Johnston.
So going into the halftime break, the Tigers down by 5. It's 20-25. Dragons lead. We'll be right back shortly for this halftime break, but don't go anywhere. Right here on 88.7 KWTM, The Point.
Maybe it's the world gone blind. They'll trade you truth for a lie, night for a night. Little birdie told me nobody's born back. If you don't see the smoke, you won't see what's coming. Well, flowers still, the petals are falling. I feel the sadness coming down. Running the zoo. There's murder in the news. Things work like me and you. Everything's well, it's well in the end. So throw off your clothes, have sex with a friend. Turn on the tap just to watch it running out. Not your mother's mission, keeping up with the news. Sit down and write what else was a light till the shadows are crawling. I
We're back on 88.7 KWDM, the points. Cole, the Dragons lead it, but not by much. It's 25-20. Valley staying in it. One of the key factors in this game, Jenica Lewis, the D1 Notre Dame commit, has been held to practically nothing. She's only had 4 in this game so far. But on the other hand, they've had the hot shooting. It's number 23, Jalea Kintz. Her first varsity start has been made tonight, and she's been making the most of it.
Yeah, and this was how you had to. This was the recipe to victory today. You had to force other players to win this game, and if they do, you tip your cap. But you can't let it be at the hands of Jenica Lewis. In the last game where Valley and Johnston played, you had mentioned in the pregame, Jenica Lewis had put up 30 points, and she's only put up 4, and that's been the exact reason why the Tigers are only down 5. And it's really been back and forth. Johnston went on a little 7-0 run, but midway through the second quarter. But other than that, there really hasn't been any big runs from Johnston, and they're very capable, so it still could happen, but they've really done a good job of staying in this game and surviving the first half, which is where Johnston really thrives and is always continuing to put teams away.
Yes, they do. That is one of the big things for Johnston. They've had their hand in a couple of tight games, especially in these last couple of weeks. Teams are starting to play better, and Johnston has had to deal with that, and that they've done. One of the bigger games of the week earlier was when Johnston played against Dowling. Dowling kept it close through the entirety of it, but near the end, Johnston pulled away. We saw the same thing in Valley's game against Ankeny Centennial last week. They kept it close throughout the entirety of it. And then at the end, Ankeny Centennial pulled away. Valley can't let this happen tonight. They lead by 5 coming out of this halftime break. We mentioned it earlier, going into the second quarter, actually. You got to start hot, and you can't let Dowling get too close in. Dowling can't let Johnston pull away, and Johnston did just that. They started to pull away, put it to 3, put it to 5 after the 1-point lead, and it got so far up to 7. Valley started to chip away at it. It brought it back to 3 at one point, and now it's at 5. Valley, they just got to stay strong in this one.
Yeah.
What are you hoping they do on the offensive side?
Yeah, they really have to have somebody step up. You've already had Adams, you've already had White, but other than that, there's been 2 points for the rest of the team. Adams and White have accounted for 18 of this team's 20 points. So if you're going to win this game, you're going to have to have some good shooting, because in those past games, like you've mentioned, like the Northwest game, they only put up 38, and that was because they really couldn't buy a bucket. In this game, down the stretch, they're going to have to hit some shots and go on a run at some point to eventually stay in this game and hopefully provide that kill shot.
That they do. And I mean, to your point, for this Valley team, you can't have 3 of like the 8 players on the entire team to have 100% of the points. And moreover, you can have 2 of the 3 players have 90% of the points. Right. They need to spread this ball out. Johnston, just like Valley, have done a great job at holding specific players to nothing. But now both teams have to spread the wealth out. Johnston starts with it. Ariana Phillip goes up with it and gets it to hit off the bank. So Olivia Adams now having it at the top of the key, guarded by Kinnitz. Now to Bailey Utoff. Adams guarded by Kinnitz again. To Moon. Avery Moon has been quiet in this one with only 2 points. Drives up, gets it to Rose. Rose now to Adams. Bailey Utoff now drives up, steps away with it, gets it back to Olivia Adams. This defense has been suffocating early by the Dragons. Now Rose. Rose going around to White. White needs to get a shot up, puts it up. And shot clock violation. Does not hit the rim, goes straight into the hands of Johnston. So now Johnston will have it after that violation.
Yeah, and that offense just felt like how it felt early in the game when Valley really couldn't get anything going. It just was really stagnant and just a lot around the perimeter.
So now Kinnitz to Kolb. Kolb has it to Phillips. That's Ariana Phillips now with it. Kolb trying to get something. Now to Adaya Phillips. Gets it to her sister. Ball's loose though. Kylie White with the good pressure. Ariana's able to pick it up. Now Adaya. Now to Kolb. Kolb back to Phillips. Phillips driving in on the Moon. Trying to get it out. Double team on her. 5 seconds. Shot up by Kinnitz is good. Left alone underneath the basket. So 20-29. Johnston with 2 quick baskets in the first minute and a half. Up their lead from 5 to 9. 29-20. 6:22 remaining in the third quarter. Kylie White trying to get the first points for the Tigers. Picks it up and her dribble, so can't do anything but pass and gets it to Adams. Adams now to Rose. Rose trying to find something. This Dragons defense has been nothing but perfect. The shot blocked by White, and now in transition all alone, Ariana Phillips, the layup, good.
Well, this was, in the first half, it felt like we were talking about this is exactly how the Tigers have wanted to start. This has been perfect, you know, and in this start of the second half, it's been the exact opposite. The Tigers have gotten absolutely nothing on the offensive end. It's been a struggle to even get inside the perimeter, and now the Tigers are down by 11. This is a dangerous time right here, and they have to start scoring on a couple of these next possessions, cut this game down to 6, 7, 8 points and stay in this game. You can't let Johnston make this lead balloon. But the Tigers have a chance in this game. They just can't let it go away this early in the game.
I agree. Now you're at 11. This is where things get tricky. You do have the ball coming out off of the make basket from Johnston. Kinnitz just continuing to play impressively. She now has 9. The Dragons looking to get their first player into double digits. They've been spreading the wealth out more. It's just Lewis has been silent tonight. Valley now with it. Adams bringing it up. Now to Moon. Moon at the top of the key has Utah. Utah playing the sideline. Gets it back to Moon. Moon has it. She drives to Rose. Adams now. Right side corner. They operate left to right now. Adams backs it up. Trying to find something. Bailey Uthoff loses it. Kolb kind of attacked her and gets in the way of the ball. And the Tigers will continue with it. 11 seconds on the shot clock. 5:33 on the game clock. Tigers trail by 11. So ball tipped by Kinnitz. And Adams will have it. 6 seconds on the shot clock. She drives. Gets it to Rose. Rose just shoots it. It's blocked. And another violation. It's another shot clock violation, which kind of good for the Tigers as Johnston had a wide open layup out of Ariana Phillips and actually has to take it all the way back to the opposite side of the court, and we'll have to bring it up. So Ariana Phillips now bringing it up back to Kinnitz. There's Kolb. Back to Kolb. Kolb has it. Fake the 3. Now step back 3. Nylon.
Well, this is a danger zone now. You got to start putting up some points.
Yes, you do. Down by 14. It's 20-24. They haven't scored yet this half. And finally, Jenica Lewis, we say her name, gets the steal. Adaya Phillips fakes the layup. Had Moon walking and then gets the 2 to go. 20-36. The lead continues to amplify for the Dragons. Bailey Uthoff trying to find something. 4:30. They've been scoreless so far this third quarter. Valley, the put up and 1.
Well, you let them go on a run, which was the worst case scenario, 11 nothing at halftime. But getting to the line, getting your legs under you, you already have some points on the board. This is what they need to get back in this game.
So now Moon trying to make it a three-point play and does. So lead cut to 13 for Johnston. 36-23, 4:20 remaining in the third quarter. Valley needs to do on defense what Johnson has been doing to them, suffocate. And you can't let that happen when Ardeana Phillips walks up, gets the three, and gives it right to Lewis. Lewis drops that three, 23-39. Valley now inside. Utah can't get the layup to go.
Got too far under the basket.
Try to acrobat her way. Three air balls from Cole. And we'll say that Auburnock hits her foot before she can save the ball, but it would have gone right into the hands of Olivia Adams anyway. So Adams now will get it in to Tenley. Yeah, Tenley, Utah. 23-29. Valley has only had 3 points in this third quarter action. Tenley, Utah hits it off the side of the backboard, rebounded by Johnston. Johnston has the number 3 on 2 now. Cole tried to get it up, swatted away. Bailey, Utah puts her big arm up and swats it.
Well, now you got them out of transition, which was where they've really been feasting, but now you got to get some stops in the half court.
23-39, 3:30 remaining in the third quarter. Lewis dishes it out. Dixon, 3, swirls it.
Well, now the Tigers are down to 1 timeout, and when you're down to 1 timeout with 3:26 left in the third quarter, that's not good. And you were feeling pretty good going into halftime, but now this was the run that it almost felt inevitable.
Yeah.
And that's just how good Johnston is. And what's really been interesting is it really hasn't been on the back of Jenica Lewis. She's only contributed 3 points. She only has 7 points in this game. They've controlled her pretty well. It's just the rest of this team has picked up the slack, and they've made the Tigers pay. And that's really been unfortunate for the Tigers. The Dragons really just have been unconscious from 3 everywhere.
Yes, they have. And that's what made this lead balloon so much. To your mention, they've only really made a couple of shots, but all those shots have been threes.
Right.
And when you have an extra point on each made basket, it's going to make the lead go even farther. And so what was a 5-point lead at halftime has turned into 19 for the Dragons, 23-42, 3:20 remain in the third quarter. Valley pretty much has to save all their timeouts until the middle of the fourth quarter if the game is still even close at that point. Fuller trying to keep it close. Now to Bailey Utah, 19 seconds of winded down. Utah goes up with it, draws the foul. It will head to the line.
Well, when you're trying to make a comeback like this with this huge uphill battle, this is exactly what you have to do. Get to the line, get some easy shots with the clock stopped.
First one is nothing but net for Bailey Utah, the older sister of the 2 Utah sisters who play for their coach, for their dad and head coach, Mr. Utah. Second one in the same fashion, nets it, 26-42 now for the Tigers. I take that back, it's 25-42. 2:58 remain. Dragons have it underneath the basket. Auburnock goes up with it, and that's like the first missed basket that Johnson has had in the third quarter. Valley in transition now. And they're going to call a foul on Callie Kolb. Fuller tried to get separation underneath the basket, and Kolb just puts her arm out too long and grabs Fuller.
Yeah, on these last couple possessions, the Tigers have been able to get into the paint, and they've had a lot more success.
So now Fuller will have it underneath. Back to Moon. Moon trying to find something. Moon drives in on Abernock. Now it's Adams' 3-ball. Can't get it to go. Rebounded, it's Lewis. Lewis trying to find something. Drives up coast to coast. Hits it off the side. Ball's in the air. Finally retained. It's the Valley Tigers. Olivia Adams gets it Fuller. Full court pass. Fuller goes up with it.
She got fouled on that. Okay. There's been a lot of physicality in this game, but that's something you have to call. I don't know if it looked like, whoa.
Yeah, did not wait for the whistle. And the ball goes out of bounds again, and that's off Johnston once more. Mariah Dixon gets called for the ball. Last touch, and Valley will retain it.
Got passed in, and nobody moved.
Nobody was hitting for. Ball's on the ground. Bailey Uthoff gets onto it. Jump ball. And it will stay with the Tigers.
Well, it's felt a little bit discombobulated in this last minute or so, but they still haven't been turning the ball over. So there's a positive.
Another quick turn in from Jenna Fuller. She has a 3. Can't get it to fall. 25-42.
Those
Johnston
open looks you have to hit.
Yes, you have. They've had a lot of them so far in this quarter and can't get them. That one from Mariah Dixon can't fall as well. Rebounded and finally gets some points on the board. After going quiet for a couple of minutes, the Dragons get the and one. That's Adiah Phillips.
Yeah, and Johnston has done a great job. They've been able to get into the paint, and they've just been so physical.
To make it a 20-point lead, Adiah Phillips had the free throw, can't get it to go. Abernock just boxed out Tenley Uthoff and gets Tenley Uthoff to not be able to retain the ball and gets it to go out of bounds. So Jenica Lewis has it underneath the basket, gets it to Abernock. Abernock trying to find something, fits it inside, and they're going to call a foul. Carrie Rose gets called for the foul. And these calls are not looking even.
It's just been a lot of ticky-tack.
A little ticky-tack on the Valley side, on the other side. Players have been hitting the ground. Deep 3, Lewis drains it. And finally, Lewis gets something to fall.
And that's what she does.
As she's been quiet all night. 25-47. Johnston has the lead. Moon goes up, loses it, poked free by Jenica Lewis. She has it, gets it. Adiah Phillips goes underneath and almost gets the and one to go again, but instead misses it. But will go to the line for 2.
Well, and just this physicality in the paint, that's just the attacking has been what has drawn all these fouls, and it's a great job by Johnston.
First one is no good for Adiah Phillips. Some substitutions for Valley. Just trying to get fresh legs on the court in this last minute and 25 before the final 8. Second one is good for Adiah Phillips as the lead increases to 23. And man, what a slide Valley has gone down on in this third quarter. But Fuller trying to get something off the back. Can't get it rebounded. 3, splash. That's Tylee White who splashes that one in, puts it back to 20. So it's a 20-point deficit for the Tigers as Johnston has it. 28-48, 50 seconds winding down now in the third quarter. Ariana just goes up with it, no attempt to shoot the ball, and gets fouled.
Yeah, at this point, it does feel like Johnston is just going into the paint with the intent of being fouled, and that's just them playing to how this game has been officiated. And they're still missing free throws, so that's been keeping Valley.
That they have Ariana Phillips trying to do what her sister did, go 50 from 50 at the first miss and doesn't. Misses the second one. Valley now with the ball after the rebound by Rose. Now White has it, left side corner, getting guarded by Kinnitz. Rose now finds Moon, 38 seconds on the clock in the third quarter, down by 20. White trying to get something before the half quarter ends and gets fouled by Kinnitz.
Well, this Johnston physicality is starting to catch up to them a little bit. They've gotten real handsy, and they've gotten real comfortable with this Tiger offense.
So now Tyler White trying to find something, gets it into Adams. Now Rose, top of the key with the foul, reset of the clock. Shot clock is turned off. White now top of the key. It looks like they might hold it for the final shot. But when you do that, you can't let a drive stall out. Instead, the three from Tyler White can't go. Puts up a layup instead, and it rolls in.
And a good input pass by Jenna Fuller just on that drive.
Dixon, left side corner, will drive in. Puts up a shot as the buzzer goes. Does not go in. So at the end of 3, Tigers trail big, 30-48. Going out of halftime, coming into this quarter, the score was 20-25. And man, has that changed. And it's good for the Dragons as they get a 23-point quarter. For Valley, different story. They only can get 10 on the board in the third. What does Valley need to do to have a sliver of hope in this fourth quarter?
Well, you kind of have to have the same mentality you had going into the game, where you know it's going to be a challenge, but it's not insurmountable. And it does feel impossible right now, but you've seen even just at the end of that third quarter, they were able to string 4 points together, and you're not going to be able to hit an 18-point shot to bring this game back together.
Oh man, how that would help.
That would be very nice, but that's not in the rules of basketball, so you just have to do this bit by bit, and you can't be flustered, you can't be intimidated, and it's the same mentality you had going into the game, knowing how good Johnston is.
Completely true on that one. I mean, 30-48. It's going to be something, but we just saw Johnston score 23. Let's see if Valley can score 20. Take the lead and not let Johnston get it. The missed 3 from Kolb is a good start on this defensive possession for Valley as they get the rebound. Fuller now to Bailey Uthoff. Uthoff trying to get something going. Has been pretty quiet all night for the Tigers. Fuller now, corner 3. Does not fall in.
Those are the shots you have to hit if you're going to make this comeback.
Yes, they do. Jenica Lewis now drives up. Ball swatted away. Hits off of her arm. Tigers in favor.
Well, there's that physical defense. When the Tigers have had success, they've been matching and even overtaking the Johnston defense in their physicality.
So now Olivia Adams comes with it to Fuller. Fuller gets it to Moon. Moon 3, nets it.
Well, they were able to get into the paint inside and out, and that's what created that open shot for Avery Moon.
So Ariana Phillips now for the Dragons to Kolb. Kolb trying to find something, gets it to inside. That's Jenica Lewis. Lewis goes up with it, hits the dirt, and gets called for gets the foul called.
Well, that goes back to that aggressiveness that she's had. She's not had a great night. She only has 10, by her standards, she's only had 10 points, but she just plays so physically.
That first one falls in for Jenica Lewis. After her first attempt goes 0 for 2. These last 2, she's gone perfect. Hits both of them. Now it's 33-51, I believe. Olivia Adams driving, goes inside, hits the layup, can't get it to fall, and ripped away is Kinnitz.
Yeah, got good position, just wasn't able to finish.
33-50 is the score. Ariana Phillips can't get it to fall. Jenna Fuller gets the rebound, 6:20 remaining in the game. There's White. White step back, 3. That's off, airballed, rebounded by Lewis. Lewis now going up the court with it. Lewis trying to find something. Gets it to Kinnitz. Kinnitz on the left side, operating right to left. Puts up the layup and 1.
Man, if now with 6 minutes left, it's go time, and those kinds of plays where you're just able to let them get in and then you foul them, that's just what has stacked in this game, and that's really what's taken the Tigers out of it.
The shiftiness of the Dragons having shown another missed free throw for Johnston, but Kinnitz, who missed it, poked it free from Rose, gets the ball and puts up a layup.
Yeah, and it's just those silly turnovers that you just can't have.
What was an 18-point lead is now 21. So 33-54. Dragons lead. Moon goes up. Ball's poked free, and they get a foul called on them. Foul's called on Ariana Phillips, number 14.
Well, the Tigers, one good silver lining in this second half, especially late in the third quarter, is they've been able to get into the paint much better and a lot more movement on the offensive end.
Yes, they have. Moon has it now, playing at that guard position. Gets it to Adams. Adams gets it to Rose. Now three ball, White. Can't get it to fall. Fuller tried to get the rebound, but it's the Dragons who retain possession. Adiah Phillips going with it. Now Cannon's three. Bottoms it.
Well, and they just got it. They have it stuck on automatic right now. They can't miss, and that's just brutal when you're trying to make a comeback.
33-57, 5:05, 5:06 on the clock. As Adiah Phillips gets called for the foul-ups. It's the second team on Johnston. But right now, with a 24-point lead, Johnston doesn't really need to worry about their foul count. Rose gets it. Now to Fuller.
Looks like we have a clock issue here.
Ref says that the clock should be at 5:02, so a 2-second difference is going to call for the stoppage. And Fuller will have to bring it out again. Gets it to Rose. Rose guarded by Kolb. Back to Fuller at the top of the key, guarded by Ariana Phillips. Now to White. White thought about taking the three, but doesn't. Now to Adams. Adams on the right side. Gets it to Moon. Moon will drive. Rose, three. Keep passing the ball. Good movement for the Tigers. 9 on the shot clock. Fuller gets it up. Moon puts it up. Can't bank it. As Ariana Phillips rebounds it. Quarterbacks it to Jalea Kennitz. And Kennitz can't retain the hard pass, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it's a really long pass, and she was a couple inches taller. She would have caught that, but that was just a little high.
That it was. So Tenley Uthoff now bringing it up for the Tigers. Gets it to Moon. Moon has it, guarded by Auburnock. Now will drive. The turnaround jumper airballs it. So now coast to coast is Colby on the rebound, and Kolb just gets it. Kennitz tried to sneak her way around and poke the ball free from Olivia Adams, but instead gets called for the foul.
Yeah, Kennitz has done that a couple times where she's just kind of hung out in the backcourt, and the Tigers have been caught napping. But that time, it was a good enough pass that the Tigers had good enough position, and we were able to pick up the foul.
Some substitutions for the Dragons, and new on the court is Emma Gray, the senior, number 33 for Johnston. And that ball, Moon tried to fit it inside underneath the basket to Tylee White, but instead it gets lost in traffic, hit out by the Johnston Dragons. So Fuller gets to Moon, will take it back, top of the key, guarded by Lewis. Open three by Adams. It rolls out, but Moon gets the rebound, tips it to herself. Fuller underneath, tried to bank it in, can't get it to fall, but is called the foul.
Well, shots like that Adams three, those were shots that she was hitting in the first half. Those were shots that were keeping the Tigers in the game, but she's gone scoreless, but a good job getting the rebound and Fuller getting to the line.
First one falls. for the Tigers. So 34-59, Valley trails by 24-25. Second one rims out, rebounded by Emma Gray. Double team pressure. Valley's got to be careful about swatting, though. They haven't been called a lot on those. So Jenica Lewis, 3, deep, downtown.
Yeah, and there's been a couple times she just pulled up from very deep, and she's been hitting them.
That was a shot that reminded me of watching Iowa State versus Iowa. Caitlin Clark likes to hit those a lot. 34-62 now, 3:15 on the clock. Trying to direct traffic. This Tyler White gets it to Tenley Utah. Tenley steps up underneath the basket. Now Olivia Adams. Olivia Adams gets around the pressure, steps back, now holds up on it. The pick and roll can't go. This Johnston defense is so good. And another violation, but they're going to say that Johnston was able to retain possession before the shot clock goes off. So here comes Maria Dixon. Mariah Dixon now gets it to Kinnitz. Jalea Kinnitz back to Dixon. Dixon almost goes up with 3. Instead, Moon has it. Moon pokes it free from Abernock, and now Tenley Utah is going to come up with it. 2:20 on the clock. Goes up. The 2 goes.
Well, they're still fighting. You know, you're not going to win this game, obviously, at this point with 2 minutes left, but still fighting.
And now Dixon heats up.
And now she's just pulling up from everywhere. You just can't stop that.
36-65. White responds and air balls. White tries to respond and does so with an air ball. So some substitutions come out for the Tigers. It's number 15, Taylon White, the sister of Tylee White, who just airballed a shot. And for the Dragons, it's number 30, Hannah Haxton, as well as number 12, Chloe Helgeson. So Dixon gets it in. Got it to Abernock, and now we'll take it back. Now to Gray. Gray has it top of the key. Normally plays the forward position, but playing out wide. Back to Dixon, inside to Abernock. Abernock goes up with it. Can't get it to fall. Rebound. Ball's on the ground. Some good play out of Taylon White, who falls on it and is able to retain possession. Tigers now fighting. Adams can't put it up. Tried to get the friendly roll, but couldn't get to it. Tylee White now, heavy pressure out of this Johnston D. Jenna Fuller. The 3, at this point, just kind of pride points, but they'll take them. Steps on the line is Maria Dixon. She will lose the possession. Valley will have it. Abernock comes out for the Dragons. In comes Kia Hood, the senior. For Valley, it's Carrie Rose coming in alongside number 23, Dominique Davis. Davis has the top of the key. Goes up with it, can't get it to fall. Hit the backboard, but it just goes too hard on the lip. 36-65, 58 seconds winding down in this one. Throws it up as Davis. Davis gets tripped, throws it up, and it actually falls through, but they'll call a travel on her. Now it's Tenley Utah coming up with it. Will go up the layup, rolls it in. So with 40 seconds now in this one. That's Jenna Fuller. Kind of just, everybody was confused, but Fuller, the ball just landed in her hands. She'll drive now. Shot clock off, 28 seconds in it. And that's Haxton. Hannah Haxton just put her arm up and the ball landed in it. Valley has it. Neither team has been able to hold on to the ball in these last 40 seconds.
Don't know why Johnston just didn't dribble the clock out.
Deep 3 from Utah. Tenley Utah just tried to get a deep 3 to add to the score sheet, but can't get it. Rebounded by Maria Dixon. All smiles on the Johnston side. Valley heartbroken once again. They had this game locked up, only down by 5. It was 20-25 going into the halftime break. But now, after 16 more minutes, 38-65 is your final score. The Johnston Dragons win big on the road at Bill Caldarn Fieldhouse. What stood out to you in this one, Cole?
Well, I just think just how elite Johnston is, just it finally came. And that first half, that's not going to happen very often, and they're definitely not going to stack two of those halves on each other in the same game. Even that's going to happen even less often. And they were fortunate, the Tigers were, to be in the game, because it didn't even feel like the Tigers really played that well in the first half, and they were only down by 5. They really weren't hitting any shots, and the lack of shot making really caught up to them in this game, and that's really been hurting them, especially that shot making has throughout the season.
That it has. So in a big win, a statement win for the Dragons, they go on the road at Bill Caldarn Fieldhouse and defeat the Tigers handily. 38-65 is the final score. We got a 15-minute halftime break, and we'll get to some more action. It's the Valley Tigers versus the Johnston Dragons. Once again, this time the boys will take the court, but don't go anywhere. Right here on 88.7 KWDM, The Point.
Once upon a time in the village of Hamlin, had a dirty job, so they hired an alien. Showed him with my pipe, now the rats are gone. Drowned in the river, that's extermination. You gotta know that it didn't have to go down this way. You made a choice when you got the invoice and deciding not to pay. I got the children in my basement, just trying to get out. I got policemen searching my neighborhood. I hope they don't find out. 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. Where they gonna end up, nobody knows but me. It's not about the money, it's the principle. Keep your gold, it won't pay my toll, you see. I asked you once, ain't asking twice. I'm not playing, I'm done being nice. You got the bill, ain't paying me still, so this is my new price. I got the children in my basement, just trying to get out. I got policemen searching my neighborhood. I hope they don't find out. I got the children
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No one is safe here, we're all in danger. In that corridor, I see a stranger. Robbing a ransack it, I see a walking. Lock your doors now, I hear a knocking. What's it no good? What's it no good? Like a spark on wire, or splittering wood. Best intentions get misunderstood, but that is up to no good. Up to no good, 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 up to no good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Quick like a snake, he's good at stealing. He even steal the plaster off the ceiling. Cloaked in darkness, I see him standing. Making moves in the night, he's a horseman. Up to no good, up to no good. Like a spark on wire, or splittering wood. Best intentions get misunderstood, but that is up to no good. Up to no good, 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 up to no good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Criminals, I'm gonna stand them. Watch your back, cause we'll come at random. For to lose and you end up in the system. He's a friend, now we're gonna miss him. What's it no good? What's it no good? Like a spark on wire, or a splittering wood. Best intentions get misunderstood, but that is up to no good. Up to no good, 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 up to no good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, Jacob.
What's that, Taylor?
What kind of music do you like, man?
Modern rock, of course.
Really? I know a place where we can listen to it.
And where is that?
It's 88.7 KWDM The Point.
Is that Des Moines' #1 modern rock station?
That's so right on.
Then let's turn it up.
All right.
If anyone else ever was mine, matter of fact, you ever tried to talk over me? No, don't leave me alone. The truth is a trap, tossing all night, lie on the back, playing a spiral. I spy my worst fault. It's my impulse control. Don't do it, don't do it. Whatever you're thinking, Jordan, just don't. Kyoto, I boarded the temple, looked around at the 7-Eleven. The band took the speed train, went to the arcade. I wanted to go, but I didn't. He called me from a payphone, they still got payphones. It cost $1 a minute to tell me you're getting sober. He wrote me a letter, but I don't have to read it. I wanna kill you if you don't beat me to it. Dreaming through Tokyo skies. I wanted to see the world. Then I flew over the ocean. Then I changed my Sunsets for the freak show on the weekend, so I've been driving out to the suburbs to park at the Goodwill, stare at the chemtrails with my little brother. He said you called on his birthday, we're off by like 10 days, but you get a few points for trying. Remember getting the truck fixed when you let us drive it. 25 felt like flying. Don't forgive me, but please don't hold me to it. Born under Scorpio skies. I wanted to see the world turn your eyes until it happened. Then I changed my mind. Yes, I
We're back here on 88.7 KWDM, The Point. We had a little bit of technical difficulties during that half, but everything good and dandy. We got a dandy of a matchup right here. The Valley Tigers, the boys, take on the Johnston Dragons. Both teams having a struggle of the year. Valley looking to win a game for the first time so far this season. So far this time this year. So far since they were last in Casey Center Arena, or it was Wells Fargo Arena when they last won a game. That was in the state tournament. Now they're 0-15 on the year, and they take on the Dragons, who come in 7-8. It's going to be a good one. Johnston in their last matchup, it was against Dowling, and they only lost to them by a point. They've had Dowling's number all year. Valley can't say the same thing, as both times they played Dowling, it's been a 20-plus point loss. Johnny, I want to say Johnny a lot because that's who I've been with, but no, it's me, Ian Nelson, alongside Cole Sunman. Cole, what are we looking forward into this game for both teams?
Well, I think for the Tigers, you have to get to the free throw line. In the Dowling game that you just mentioned, it was a 1-point game, and the big difference in that game was free throws. Johnston only got to the line 3 times. They missed all of them. So they were 0 for 3. Dowling, on the other hand, was 15 for 22. Remember, that was a 1-point ball game. So in this game, if you can get to the line, and if this is another close game like that, which I wouldn't be surprised if it is, then that gives you a great chance. Because Johnston, that's been a struggle of theirs. They've struggled to get to the free throw line consistently and get themselves those easy points. So if you can get onto the line and just get your feet under yourself. And those are the kinds of things that can get you on runs. Those free throws, those down into the paint, getting quick layups. So if you can get them into foul trouble and do all those things, that's what's going to win you this game.
The last game that we called for Valley was their closest chance to a win all year. They were here in Bill Caldiron Fieldhouse against the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars. It was down to the wire the entire game, but near the end, the Jaguars hit the shots they needed to, and they hit free throws when they needed to, and ended up winning by 7. Valley looking to switch the script in this one against Johnston. They got to keep it close the entirety and then strike, or something we haven't seen much all year, come out to a hot start and hold on to it. Neither of those things have happened so far, so we'll see how it will do tonight. Your lineups for both teams. Nakari Cavill, the junior, is number 1 for the Johnston Dragons. Tino Day Jr., the senior, number 3. Number 4, the junior, Emery Jones. Number 5, Joshua Jenkins, the junior. And junior, number 15, Darren Grandin. Rally out the Johnston Dragons lineup. For the Tigers, the junior, number 10, Keen Jorgensen. The junior, number 12, Jaden Attaway. The senior, number 15, Colton Remick. The senior, number 22, Jack Gale. And rounding it out, your favorite player, Mr. Energy himself, the senior, number 42, Tyree T.J. Jr. Tyree T.J. Williams Jr. is that man. Don't forget his name. We'll be calling it a lot tonight. We anticipate and hope. Last time he was on the court, and when we last called him, it was against Ankeny Centennial, and he had so much energy. One of the key factors for why it was so close in that entire game. But we'll see what's going to happen. The final thoughts before we head to tip-off.
Yeah, real quick, just on T.J. Williams. He's not the most skilled player. That's why he really hadn't played until midway through this season. This is his senior year, so he's really not the most talented, but he plays so hard, and that's what's earned him these minutes. And he's really been a spark for this team. When he's been on the floor, they've played really hard defense, and that's what's kept them in games, because at times their offense has been lacking.
That it has. So we'll see how he can light up this team. Off the tip, Colton Remick wins it, regained by Jack Gale. The Tigers will have it Attaway. Gets it to Williams, poked free. There it is, layup good. Nakare Cavill, the junior, tips it free and gets the opening points for the Dragons. So now Valley will try to respond. 7:40 on the clock, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Dragons. Jorgensen has it, trying to find something. Remick, 3, can't cash it in. Rebounded by Cavill. Cavill gets it to Day. Day Jr. now bringing it up for the Dragons. There's Grandin. Grandin to Jenkins, now to Day. Back to Grandin, the 3. Can't get it to fall. Jack Gale gets the rebound and fouled. Foul's called on number 15, Grandin, who tried to get it in for the rebound off of the Jenkins missed 3.
Well, the difference between both of these offenses here in this first minute has just been the movement. The Tigers have been a lot of dribbling, and they've been pretty stagnant, but the Dragons have been very quick, and they've been moving the ball really well.
Jorgensen taking it up for the Tigers. They operate right side of the court to the left. Bunched up on that right side is Attaway. He gets away from it. Now Jorgensen trying to find the first points for the Tigers of the night. Gale going in on Cavill. Hits it off the back iron. Gets the friendly roll. So 2-2, 6:40. A minute 20 has gone away, and both teams have only got a layup. So there it is. Inside to Grandin. Grandin now working on Gale. He turns around, goes up with it, and 1. Count the bucket. To the line he goes.
Yeah, Gale is also another one of those guys that really hasn't played a whole lot, and has earned starter minutes, but isn't the most talented, and you saw it right there where he was just overpowered.
Darren Grandin hits the iron and gets the roll to go. So 2-5 off of the 3-point play. The Dragons lead it. 6:22 remain in the first quarter. Attaway has it at that guard. Gets it to Williams. Williams on the left side corner. Now it goes to Gale. Gale bringing it up. Left side elbow. That's where Jorgensen has it now. Double team. Gets away from it. Attaway. Attaway guarded by Jones. Now Jorgensen. Jorgensen tries to drive. Goes up with it and fouled. Try to get an extra bounce, but is fouled. Calvo looks at the refs in dismay. Does not agree with that one. But Jorgensen will go underneath the basket.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you have to do against this team. You have to start drawing fouls because this team does play pretty physical. So if you can draw some fouls and get guys into foul trouble, that can give you a much better chance.
Johnston has 2 team fouls, and all of them have come from Darren Grandin. So in for him comes Jaden Hauser. For the Tigers, it's Williams on the right side elbow. He works, trying to find something, steps up at the free throw corner. Now it's to Attaway. Attaway at the top of the key. Attaway some fancy handles. Now to Williams. Inside, Jack Gale all alone would have had an easy layup, but loses the ball, but goes up with a rebound to Williams. That ball would have soared away had Williams not been in there for the rebound off the Jack Gale missed layup. So Attaway, right side elbow, puts up a 3 deep. Hits off the back iron and does not go. Falls into the hands of the Dragons. Here come deep 3. That's Jones. Emory Jones can't get it to fall. Ball in the air, rebounded by Remick. Remick now in transition, gets it to Williams. Now Jorgensen. Jorgensen battling Day Jr. Now to Attaway. Attaway trying to find something. Back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen guarded by Tino Day Jr. Jorgensen trying to find something. 3 ball. Can't get it to fall. That one was 2 off left centered. So pull up 3, Cavill. That one falls into the hands of the Tigers. Now in transition, Attaway moving up court. There he goes, can't get it forward, gets his own rebound, goes back up with it, and nets it.
Yeah, and that's what he does. He's such a great creator, and he can really make a play for himself.
So here comes Cavill and the Dragons. Stolen away, it's Williams. 1-on-1, goes up with it, puts the lay, count it.
And that is exactly why he is playing these minutes that he is right now. He just plays so hard, never takes a possession off.
So Valley gets their first lead of the night. 6-5, 4 minutes remain in the first quarter. Cavill 3 ball, nets it.
Yeah, and Johnston had gotten away from what had been working, moving the ball around, and that time just moving around the screen, did a great job and was able to pull up.
So retaking the lead, Valley trails by 2, 6-8. Williams double team now, trying to keep the ball and just throws it away. Miscommunication, thought he had Jack Gale moving to the left corner. Instead, Gale moves towards the basket and the ball gets thrown to where the band usually would, right almost domes at Johnston cheerleader. So in for Williams is number 14, Jack Tracy. So Cavill trying to get around the Valley pressure, can't do so. 3:30 remain in the first quarter. Now for the Dragons, it's number 2, Caleb Cabarralo. Cavill almost travels but gets it to Jones. Jones puts up the lay, can't get it to fall, rebounded by Attaway. So now Tracy coming in, trying to find something. Gets it back to Attaway. Now Jorgensen, open 3, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Cavill. Cavill coming up for the Johnston Dragons. Now here's Day. Day goes up, and Day, oh good. Tracy, wide open, extra pass, 3, bottoms.
There's Gale again. He's just where he's been where he's needed to be throughout this game.
Everywhere and anywhere all at once. That's Jack Gale so far this game. He was in the left side corner and drills it. 9-10. So after some questions for Valley, can they retain it? 3 ball. Cavill can't get it to fall. So still 1-point game. Ball goes out of bounds. Valley says they have it. And they're going to say it goes off of Jack Gale? Really?
It looked like it got knocked away, so maybe as it was really close to the out-of-bounds line, maybe a Tiger had touched it. But That was really close. Hard to see from this angle.
So Johnston will keep it with the 1-point lead, 10-9. 10:20 remain in this first quarter. In for the Tigers, it's number 52, the freshman Chase Starbuck, as well as Sam Strawn. So here's Emory Jones. Gets it. The three from Jaden Hauser can't go. Goes off of the hands of Jaden Attaway. And Dragons continue to have possession.
Yeah, and this was what also hurt the girls. It was just the consistent offensive rebounding from Johnston.
Hauser back to Cavill. Cavill almost loses Attaway. Attaway, good job staying with it. Emory Jones now back to Hauser. Hauser goes up with it on the pressure. Gets the two to fall. 9-12, 3-point lead for the Dragons. Minute 55 now. Attaway almost loses it. Trying to find something. Tracy trying to start this offense up, and it's stolen away. Hauser now to Jones. Back to Day. Day gets the ball to fall.
Well, Tracy had a great start to the year, but he struggled of late.
So 9-14 now. Dragons lead by 5. Tracy guarded by Cavill. Double team now on Tracy. Tracy tried to fit it in to Attaway and just throws it too much to the right, and Attaway can't put his grasp on it. Valley takes a timeout with 1:18 remaining in the first quarter. Dragons sneaking away so far. They lead by 5, 9-14.
Yeah, this game has been really tight, but Johnston has just had a feeling of control, and you can see it on the scoreboard. It's a 5-point game, but they really haven't separated, and for the Tigers, you have to feel lucky to only be down by 5. And like Johnston, they're getting every offensive rebound, it seems like, unless it goes right into the hands of a Tiger, and even then, it isn't guaranteed that the Tigers are going to get the offensive rebound. So they really have to shore that up if they want to have a chance in this game.
So with the possession, Johnston will take it out. Cavill not wanting to take it out as the point guard, pointing for somebody to do it. Now it's Caleb Cabaralo. Gets it to Cavill. 1:15 remain in this first quarter. They had the lead by 5. Now to Carballo. To Hauser. Hauser guarded by Storbuck. Now it's to Cavill again. Inside is Garballo. Garballo trying to find something. Gets it back to Cavill. Open three. Can't get it to fall. Storbeck gets it. They have the numbers. Tigers moving up. Fast break. Coast to coast. Storbuck comes from out of nowhere. Gets the rebound and points fall. 11-14. 46 seconds remain in the first quarter. Now Cavill going up with it. 3 ball. Can't fall. Hauser comes in for the rebound. He grabs it. Back to Cavill. Cavill trying to find it. You don't want to foul here. Tino Day now, left side corner. About a second separation from game and shot clock. Cavill got to make sure not to step past that half court line. He was tightrope walking that one. Tino Day now doing the same thing, guarded by Jack Gale. Gale trying to push him back. 11-14, 12 seconds now winding down. Johnston will hold it with less than a second separating game and shot. They can hold. So Tino Day now coming up, almost loses it. Inside is Garballo. Garballo goes up with it at the buzzer, and it will fall. Head coach asking for something.
Well,
should not have counted.
I don't.
That wasn't.
Well, it looked. I think he probably got it off. It was really close, but there should have been.
And the basket does count. So at the end of
that does end the quarter. Okay.
At the end of one, Johnston with that last ending make by Caleb Garballo, they lead 16-11.
Yeah, and Johnston has really spread the wealth around. They haven't really had anybody that's just gotten red hot, that's taken control of this game. Their leading scorer is Cavill with 5 points. So there's a lot of guys on this team that can make plays, like Tino Day, who has 4 right now. There was a game where he went 5 for 6 from 3, and then the very next game, he had 2 points. So this team can win in a variety of ways. They just haven't been consistent in doing that.
That they have. And despite the 5-point lead, Valley has to be happy with the results of so far. Only holding Cavill to 5, who has shown in this year that he can go off for big points. He averages 17 a game. So holding him to 5, although a little much based on his average, is good as he's one of their better shooters. But Cavill bringing it out for the Dragons out of the first quarter break. There's Garballo, top of the key, guarded by Remick. Now to number 5, Joshua Jenkins back into the game for the Dragons. Trying to find something inside. Garballo wide open, rolls it. 11-18, increasing their lead is Johnson. 7:37 now on the clock for Valley. Trailing by 7, Tracy, top of the key, rolling out, trying to find something. Miscommunicates, tried to get it to Remick, but Remick was cutting for the basket and didn't even see the ball go towards him.
Yeah, this offense has really come out the gate struggling. It's kind of similar to how the Dowling game started, just with a lot better defense.
So 11-18, 7:20 remain in this first half. Strawn guarding Jones. Here in comes swat away. Remick gets it to his boy Attaway. Jaden Attaway now bringing it out, getting rid of the pressure. Comes up, 30 seconds on the shot clock, 7 minutes in the first half. Strawn now, one of the better players on this team, hasn't been getting starting minutes, but coming in as the 6th man. So here's Attaway. Attaway guarded by Cavill, 13 now. Gotta line something up for a shot. Can't go away scoreless again. Jorgensen cuts for the basket, and they're gonna say he's fouled by Tino Day. That's the...
Yeah, and that was just another instance of being able to get into the paint, not getting a shot, but getting another foul on Johnston.
So ball goes to Gale. Now Jorgensen at that elbow. Cavill swats it away. Try to make a case that it went off of Attaway, but you could clearly see he last touched it. So 11-18 still, 6:40 remain in the first half. Attaway heavily guarded by Cavill. Now Attaway. Strawn, 3. Ooh, rolls just out. It went in, and Toilet bowls its way out. So 11-18. Pull-up jumper. Day can't get it to fall. Attaway with the rebound. In transition, Attaway takes it coast to coast, Euros, and can't trip it in. Strawn now fighting, still has the ball. This time goes up with it, bottoms it.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of possessions now where Attaway hasn't made the shot, but he's gotten it up on the rim, and it's given the Tigers an opportunity for an offensive rebound.
So now a 5-point lead for the Dragons as they have it. Cavill to Garballo. There's Day. Day working on Jorgensen. Day goes up. That time Jenkins, that's swatted away. Jack Gill gets the block. Valley now with it. Down by 5. You need points here. Strawn cuts up, gets it to Attaway. Attaway looking, trying to find something. There's Jorgensen. Jorgensen looking now. Fits it in. There's Remick underneath the basket. Gets to the Gale. Good passing out of the Tigers, but now you got to find something. Jorgensen goes up, pull-up jumper. Can't get it to fall. Jack Gale out of position to get the rebound. Johnson recovers.
That's the shot he can hit, just couldn't get it to go down that time.
Too far to the right for Jorgensen as Jenkins has it. Now Cavill 3-ball. Can't get it to fall. Goes right in the hands of Remick on the rebound for the Tigers. 5 minutes remain in this first half. Attaway gets it to Strawn. Strawn now back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen finding, looking, lays, gets the left-handed.
Well, again, they're just getting into the paint and getting it up on the rim.
15 to, I think, 18? Yeah, 15. Sorry. Scoreboard operators missed it. 3-ball during the confusion. Can't get it to fall for number 4, Emory Jones. So Jorgensen with the 3-point deficit, 15-18. Now to Strawn. Strawn tried to fit it in. Remick just loses it. Now Day has it. Jenkins goes with it. Now Cavill. Cavill underneath. Can't have anybody. Now Day. Day on the right side. Elbow. Puts up the jumper. Doesn't fall. Rebounded by Strawn. Strawn going up with it. Attaway on the right side elbow. Now to Remick. Colton Remick. The big man who can shoot the ball. Now to Attaway. Hasn't been much shooting. Trying to get every basket to count for the Tigers, and that's a good strategy. They're holding, trying to find something, setting it up. Now to Jorgensen, 13 on the shot clock, 3:45 remain in the first half. Down by 3, 15-18. Tigers have the ball. Jorgensen on the right side elbow. Goes up, puts the lay as the buzzer falls.
Yeah, him and Attaway have really been able to show that they can do it themselves, and not many guys on this team can, so they've really provided a spark.
17-18. Down by 1. This Valley defense has started to heat up in the last couple of minutes. They look to keep it that way. Garballo now to Jenkins, to Cavill. Inside is Garballo. He has it. Going to work on Remick. Gets Remick to jump, and then will draw the foul.
Yeah, did a good job just getting Remick up in the air, and then went right up into him. That's just a textbook move right there.
So Garballo, who's 58 on the season, behind on the free throw line. After hitting the back iron, he sticks that one.
Yeah, that was just a line drive, and it just kind of died on the back iron.
After knocking down the first free throw, up by 2. We'll set up this second attempt. And that one does not fall, hitting off the back iron. Valley will have it. Down by 2, 17-19. 3 minutes remain in the first half. Attaway has it. Top right key. Looking for something. Attaway gets us to Storbeck. He's looking. Now inside to Jack Gale. Jack Gale has it. Strawn trying to tie up the ball game. Can't do it. Rebounded by Jenkins. Now to Day. Day gonna bring it up for the Dragons. Inside. Some good passing. Storbeck puts his paws up, but right to Jenkins, who threes it and finds it. So after the made 3, but from number 5, Joshua Jenkins, Valley takes another timeout, 17-22. They're down to 3 on the game. You got to be careful now. You don't want to use any more in the rest of this half, and you only got 3. We saw Valley get into timeout trouble at the end of their game. They had 1 with a whole quarter remaining, so got to be careful in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I can see what he's trying to do. He knows that this team has been susceptible to giving up some long runs with how the defense or how the offense, has been susceptible to going on, 3, 4, 5 minute scoring droughts, and seeing how Johnston was able to just kind of dictate what they wanted to do on that last possession. He just decided, okay, I just want to get control of my guys here, and I just like the timeout there.
So out of the timeout, Valley trails by 5, 17-22. 2:27 remain in the first half. This second quarter has felt like an eternity. Tyree Williams Jr. now gets it. Johnson has subbed in a couple of guys. Number 15, Darren Grandin, after 2 early fouls, is back in the game. Alongside him is number 30, Jacob Pedersen.
Yeah, and on that possession, there's just been a couple of plays where there's just been some wild passes, and they just haven't looked very sharp so far.
And yes, like you mentioned, Valley loses it, and Johnson loses it, pass it, and there Darren Grandin is. Johnston, head coach, does not like what has happened. almost losing a possession right there, and then finally calls a timeout after almost losing it again.
Yeah.
So some choppy play right out of the initial timeout break. We'll call for a Johnston timeout now.
Yeah, it hasn't really felt like in these last couple minutes there's been a whole lot of rhythm. When you see that there hasn't been a whole lot of rhythm, you usually think, there's been a whole bunch of fouls and the refs have been stopping the game. But in this one, just the offenses have really been stagnant on both sides, not a lot of ball movement. And great defenses, too, have caused that, but they also haven't been forcing turnovers. And whoever can start forcing turnovers, because both of these offenses aren't great, and whoever can start forcing turnovers and being able to convert it in transition on the other end, they'll be able to go on a run at the end of this half.
So now Johnston taking it out. That's number 4, Emery Jones. Gets it to Jenkins. Now Jones back to Jenkins. Jones, Jenkins is how it's been looking so far in this quarter. Had to have walked, and he did. So Jenkins just walks with it after the heavy pressure gets put on him. Valley will get the ball with 1:35 remaining in this first half.
Yeah, and this is another one of those turnovers. This one's a dead ball turnover, so it's harder to convert on, but it's just another one of those turnovers that you have to take advantage of.
So Jorgensen will take the inbound. Coming up with it, 1:29 on the clock. Down by 5, 17-22. There's Attaway, rolls around and drills it.
He's so good in the mid-range.
That he is, 19-22. Day, Garballo, Jenkins almost took the 3, doesn't, now to Cavill. Cavill trying to hit around. He finally hits it and does hit again. Drops it in, 24-19. Tigers trail by 5. So Attaway looking for something. Sneaks around, gets it to Williams. Williams trying to find it. There's Jorgensen. Jorgensen inside Storbeck. Storbeck rolling around, puts it up, banks it in.
A great move. That's not a move you see from a freshman very often, just that little up and under. That was a tough shot.
So Cavill now working on Williams Jr. Backing it up. He's going to hold for as long as he can. It's about a 5-second separation from game and shot clock. And they will try to utilize as much as they can. Up by 3, Valley trails 21-24. Johnston is leading it right now. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jorgensen, heavy pressure on Cavill. Now gets away. Step back 3, money. So Tigers now have to move. 5 seconds, 2, 1. Just got to put it up. That one cannot count, and it doesn't.
Yeah, Johnston on that last possession did a great job. They converted, and then they did a great job getting back on defense, because in those scenarios where the clock is ticking down, sometimes the defense falls asleep and gives up an easy layup. But that time they just put a whole bunch of pressure on Attaway and just didn't let him even get a shot off.
So going into the halftime break, Tigers trail by 6, 21-27. We'll be right back here on 88.7 after these short messages.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families, and one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
tuned in to Valley High School's local radio station, 88.7 KWDM, West Des Moines.
So far, so fake. I don't want to answer the phone, rather watch it rain. Away, take me away. Before I begin to enjoy the metallic taste. These days I think are so strange. No cuts, no trust, name no names. Armless, we swim over flames. It's coming around this time. It's coming around this time. These days I think are so strange. No cuts, no trust, name no names. Armless, we swim over flames. It's coming around this time. It's coming around this time. I know you wanna distance yourself from me. The head is only a dangerous dead weight. Cauterized in the veins, you'll lacerate. At the end, you took it all away from me. Keep it hunted in case you twist your blade. I cut you out because I don't think that I'm safe. Steal your heart and do not resuscitate. At the end, you took it all away from me.
We're back here on 88.7 KWDM, The Point. For those just tuning in, I'm Ian Nelson alongside my co-host tonight, Cole Sunderman. Mr. Cole, Mr. Sunderman, boy, do we have a matchup right now. Valley a little quiet going into that halftime break, but they're looking to heat up. The lead's only 6 for the Johnston Dragons. 21-27 is the score. What did you like for the Tigers going into this halftime break, and what do they need to do coming out of it?
Well, what I really liked about this first half was just how they hung in there. They really didn't shoot the ball very well. They weren't making plays that they should be making, and they were able to keep it a 3-4 point game. This 6-point lead is one of the larger leads for Johnston so far in this game, and it just happened just because of a late bucket from Johnston. So the Tigers have really hung in there. They've stuck around despite their struggles, and if they can start shooting the ball a little better, which they've had a couple guys that have been able to get hot, like Strawn or Tracy and those guys, and if they can get going, this team could really turn this offense on and really get going.
So 35 seconds remain until the second half starts. I really like that analysis because it's true. Once Valley gets hot, it is a little difficult to stop. So we were looking to see that early. Coming out of this break, you need to get shots up quickly, but you don't want to take loosey-goosey shots. That's one of the things Valley has struggled with. You take, they're very inconsistent. That's been one of their struggles this year. They'll have a possession where they'll get the ball, they'll pass it around, look for extra shots, and then they end up just throwing the ball away or get stuck in a hole and can't get a good shot up and just really throw the ball right into the hands of Johnston. Or you go with some speed and you throw up a shot a little too quickly and it rims out. You can't do that. You gotta look for that middle ground. If you want to go speed, then make sure that everybody is ready for that. Because so far tonight, when Valley's gone with speed, only one player is ready for it and everybody else is lacking, and that shot is not good. So we'll see how Valley responds as they get the ball first. There's Gale underneath, buckets it. So nice play out of the Tigers early to get points on the board quickly. 23-27 now. Tigers still trail by 4. Johnston now with Cavill bringing it up. Day on the left side. Now to Jones. Emery Jones gets it back to Day. Day has it on the Tiger paw. There's Garden. Now to Day. Day trying to find something. Day shoots on top of Jorgensen and just completely misses it. Airballs it right into the out-of-bounds line.
Yeah, that was a really tough shot and a great offensive possession. They forced Johnston all the way down to 5 seconds and really didn't get any good shots.
23-27 now. Tigers putting it inside, trying to find something. There's Attaway, rolling, turning, looking around, goes up with it. Bricks it, hits off. Ooh, it hit off the front iron, rebounded by Darren Grandin. And Williams goes in there trying to get the jump ball, but they call a foul on him instead. That's his first of the night. So Cavill will bring it up. 23-27 is the score. 6:45 remain in the third quarter. Day to Cavill. Trying to find something. 16 seconds. 14, 13. Shot up by Cavill. Shot up by Day. Hits off the back iron. Looked like it stood there for a couple seconds and then finally falls in. Inside Williams. The turnaround. Tried to go around town, but gets the foul to fall.
Yeah, and a great pass and a great cut by Williams. Probably didn't need to go up and under like that, but getting to the line, that's all you really care about.
So now at the line, Williams Jr. a little too strong on that free throw attempt. Misses the first one. To make it within 5, and they do. 24-29. 6 minutes remain in this third quarter. Grandin now having it. Day looking around, trying to find something. 3-ball. Jenkins, and Jones, he gets it to fall. So 24-32 now. What was a 5-point lead is transformed to 8. Dragons lead by 8. 24-32. Jack Gale trying to find something. Now Williams. 20 seconds winding down on the shot clock. Williams looking around, trying to find something. Now it's Gale. Gale gets it to Jorgensen. Jorgensen heavy pressured. Now to Williams. Gets it out. Jones whips on. And there's Jack Gale. Hits off his fingertips.
Yeah, Gale got in and had really good position.
Take over play-by-play for a second.
And would have had a great opportunity. So now it is Cable at the top of the key, and that is just a bounce out to the right side, and it's swung around to Grandin inside and swung out to Day, who puts up the 3 and can't get it to go. Outside to Attaway, who pushes ahead to Tracy. Tracy on the left side up to Remick and around to Jorgensen. Swung around again to Tracy and back up to Jorgensen at the top of the circle. Pulls up at the free throw line, can't get it to go, but he's fouled. And a great job again by Jorgensen, just creating a play once again and getting to the free throw line. And that's really what's been keeping the Tigers in this game, as he hits the first, cutting the lead down to 7 for the Tiger deficit, as it's 25-32 with 4:45 left in this third quarter.
And the second one off the mark for the Tigers. Jorgensen just couldn't hit that second one. The lead is 7. 25-32, 4:30 remain in this third quarter. This one has gone by quickly. There's Jones underneath the basket, had an open layup, but there is the pressure from Remick. Now Grandin goes up with it and rolls it in. So the lead goes to 9, 25-34. Attaway trying to find his first points of the second half. Almost walks with it, but doesn't. That one's swatted away. There's Remick underneath. Gets it to Storbach. Storbach banks it in.
Yeah, and Storbach's been doing a great job in this game. He's had great position, and he's had some great minutes.
There's a whistle, and they call an offensive foul. Number 15, that's his third of the night, so he may have to come out, and he does. Jaden Hauser comes in for him. That's one of the things with Darren Grandin. As they're big, he's one of their stronger players, but when that strength goes a little too hard, you're prone to foul, and so he has 3 and will have to sit out for most likely the remainder of the quarter. There's Jorgensen now to Tracy, now to Attaway, back to Tracy, 3, can't fall. Storbach gets the rebound after it was in the air for good seconds, rolls. And he's rolling there. Storbach back-to-back baskets for him as he gets the finger roll. Calvo, the response 3, can't fall. Attaway, they have the numbers. Euro can't trip it in. So there's Calvo. Calvo now, the ball spoke 3. There's Remick. Now to Attaway. A bunch of potential fouls could have been called good on the refs for not blowing the whistle, letting the boys play. So 29-34 now. 5-point lead for the Dragons. Valley has the ball. Attaway, right side elbow. As they operate left to right now. Remick to Tracy. Tracy heavily guarded by Jenkins. Now inside Storbach. Storbach rolling around, can't find space. Now gets it to Tracy. Tracy between the legs, going around town, and too hard on the round the world lay. Does not fall. So there's Jones to Calvo. Now to Jenkins. Jenkins, quick 3, nails. 29-37 now after the May 3 by Jenkins. Remick, the step back jumper, mid-range nylon. Colton Remick, the step back fadeaway jumper. He hits it, and now it's a 6-point lead. Cutting the lead, you just got to stay into it.
Yeah, and those kinds of shots, those are really tough shots, but in this Valley team, that has been something that throughout the year they've shown the capability to do fairly consistently. Mid-range usually isn't a shot that you want to take that often, but when they have taken them, they've done a pretty good job. And Remick, he's had a kind of a quiet day today, but he really showed up when it mattered because, like you said, they've been able to stick around now, and they've just been able to, just lurk in the background, and it's stayed at about a 6-8 point game, and that's right kind of where they want it to be so that they can make their move late in the game.
And if anybody's going to attempt to step back mid-range jumper, it's going to be Colton Remick. That's one of the shots he likes to take a lot. Now Garballo for the Johnston Dragons, swatted away. That's Storbeck, but rebounded. Garballo and Strong get tied up, and it's going to be a jump ball. So great defense out of the Tigers. They get, make sure, it was a jump ball, not a foul. Calvo now inbounds it to Hauser. Now Hauser gets it to Jones. Jones going to Calvo. Calvo on the right side. He gets it to Jenkins. Jenkins rolling around, drives up. Hauser underneath. And one. Got the Tigers jumping for joy and then goes up with them and draws the foul. Great underneath gameplay out of Jaden Hauser.
Yeah, and that was just absolutely textbook. Did a great job. Got him up in the air with the pump fake and then just went right into the body. That's going to get called every single time.
So Jaden Hauser now to make it a three-point play and to increase the lead from 8 to 9. It does not fall, so the lead stays at 8, 31-39. Tigers transitioning. Jack Tracy goes up for the three, doesn't take it. Now Attaway almost loses it, but is able to have it as nobody was around him. Attaway would have had an open three had he not lost the ball. Instead, he keeps it. So Strawn, Tracy, we're up and around. Storbeck underneath, goes up with it. With the pressure, can't get the and one to fall, but keeps the foul called, so he'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, and it's again, he's getting in great position where the defense really has no choice other than to foul, or they're going to give up a wide open layup.
Storbeck at the line now. First one, a little too hard on that one.
Yeah, not a great free throw shooter coming into the year, sitting at 5 for 10. So just got to hit this second one here
to keep the average. Butter.
Yeah, there you go. Keep it right at 50%.
6 for 12 on the year now. 32-39. A minute 20 remains in this third quarter. Valley staying with the Dragons. There's Day to Hauser, now to Garballo. Garballo to Day. Day looking around. Has Tracy as his defender. Now to Jones. Emory Jones. Heavy pressure from this Valley Tiger D. Now ball's on the ground. Attaway's on the ground. That should have been an over the back, but they're not calling it. Garballo underneath, goes up with it, and the foul. They must have say either deflection or they hit off the rim, counts as.
Well, it was going back towards the midline, and then it was just tipped backward. It's hard to tell from where we're at, from our vantage point, but it sure looked like it was tipped by Johnston and then picked up again by Johnston. So
either way, Johnston responds, and Caleb Garballo gets the two, but not the third. He cannot hit the free throw as the lead stays in single digits, 32-41. Valley trails 38 seconds. There's Jorgensen having it. There's Strawn, will move to the right. He's stuck in the corner, guarded by two. Storbeck now going underneath. There's Jorgensen. He'll go up and lays it in. 34-41, 20 seconds remain in the third quarter. Strawn will go up on Emory Jones.
Hold for one if Johnston elects to.
And they will elect to as 10 seconds wind down. They're going to go for that last shot now. Day, he has it. Back at the center. Underneath is Grandin, and just cannot have enough time, and the shot clock will expire. So 34-41, we go into the fourth quarter. What'd you like about it?
Well, I think that last possession was, granted, it's not a normal possession because it's the last possession of the quarter, and that's when things can tend to get a little stagnant as teams try to hold for the last shot. But that was just, that kind of showed what they've had to do to stay in this game. They've played really tough defense, and they really haven't let Johnston just make easy passes, because when you let the offense make easy passes, that's where they can get the extra ball movement, get the extra passes, and really open up the defense a lot. They haven't allowed them to do that consistently. They've gone, when Johnston's gone on runs, that's what's happened. They've been able to open up that defense, and the Valley defense has softened up a little bit. But when it's in your face, lots of contact, very physical, that's when the defense has had a lot of success.
So now we have the final 8. One more quarter to decide it. Johnston leading right now by 7. 34-41. Had to do the quick math in the head, but it's all fine as long as Valley can retain the lead. Not retain the lead, get back into the lead. But we'll see Johnston's defense. You mentioned it earlier, though. When things get chippy near the end, Johnston hasn't held the lead all that well, but Valley hasn't been able to come from behind that well either. So we'll see who's going to change the tide in this one. Final 8, Jorgensen, the step back 2 can't fall as it's rebounded by Darren Grandin. Ooh, late whistle as the ball goes into the hands of Attaway, but they call a foul on the big guy, number 52.
Yeah,
Storbeck.
Storbeck, it looked like he just picked his pocket from behind, but must have gotten some wrist or something.
So 34-41, 7 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Cavill gets it to Grandin. Grandin now to Hauser. Hauser back to Cavill. Grandin. Moss is strong, but it doesn't mean anything. A Strawn pokes the ball free, and the goes out of bounds. Last touch by Grandin.
Yeah, that was another great job of showing that defense and really getting up in their face and tipping that ball away.
Head coach Brian Rickey for the Tigers flexing on his team, telling them to stay strong. This offensive position needs to be strong. Get some points on the board, cut the lead. Jorgensen gets it to Attaway now. Attaway on the right side elbow. They operate left to right in this final half. Strawn loses it. Got it by Garballo. Garballo also loses it. Remick tried to go up with it, and Day just got in the way. Remick, you could see the look in his eyes from up here. Wanted to go strong on the rim with it, but Tino Day just gets in the way. And now 2 on the way for Remick. Way, Day, way. Way to go out of Remick. Drops in the first one nicely.
Yeah, and on that drive, Remick looked a little bit out of control, but he did a great job and just found the contact.
And that one goes for Remick. 36-41. Leads cut to 5. 6:50 remain in this game. Cavill almost loses it, but goes strong. Goes up the step back, fade away, floater, floats it in.
Yeah, and that's just another one of those tough shots that Johnston has been able to hit today.
36-43, leads now up to 7. Jorgensen, left side elbow, guarded by Cavill. Now to Storbeck. Storbeck worked on Grandin. The one-handed lay rattles in.
What a tough shot. Just kind of flipped it up there and got it to go. That's the kind of night Storbeck's been having.
You mentioned earlier, not many freshmen play like Storbeck, and he's showing it. That's why he's starting to get some minutes at the end of this season. As Tigers stay strong in defense, Grandin loses it, but Cavill there to regain it. Can't pure that one. as it rattles away. 38-43, Tigers in the transition. Jorgensen, Remick can't get the three to go. It falls short. 5:41 now in the game. Cavill, three. That one off the front iron. Remick, Grandin. They say the last touch is Grandin.
Yeah, it was going into the corner, and it was just like a fight. And as they were going along, as they were running next to each other, just putting their shoulders into each other. And that's just been how this game has been going. So physical. Both teams just want to win this game so bad.
Grandin comes out for number 4, Emery Jones. There's Cavill, back to Jones. Jones now, top of the key. He
looks like it.
Whistle on number 2, Sam
Wow.
Strawn.
At first glance, when they blew the whistle, I thought it was an offensive foul because when he was going up for the shot, there were just Tigers being just boxed out, being pushed back, but got it on Strawn. Not sure what the call was there.
Ball's tipped. There's Cavill. Now he's going to try to go underneath. Heavy pressure. Wide open Jones. Can't fall that one in. 38-43. So Jorgensen goes up gets the foul. So Jorgensen, after that shooting foul, will try to put the lead to 3. 38-43. Try to cut the deficit to 3. I should mean the lead right now is 5 for Johnston. 5:14 remain in this ball game. First one too hard off the back iron.
Well, these are some big free throws here, and that's a big miss as both teams have played such tough defense. Points have been hard to come by, so you have to hit these.
The second one is pure. 39-43. Storbeck comes out for Jack Gale. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast at the start of this one how Johnston, they fell to Dowling because they couldn't hit their free throws. Valley, they can't fall to their same fate. They've really been 50 for 50 on the night so far. They got to stay more consistent as the final 5 minutes tick off. So 5:07 remain in this ball game. That one could have been close. Tino Day almost loses it to a backcourt violation. Jones walks with it, and as he tries to stay upright to get it out, he just starts falling backwards and gets called for the travel. So 39-43, Valley defense staying strong.
And that's what those just little bumps and that little bit of physicality causes them to get off balance.
Attaway gets it to Strawn, the heavy pressure, loses it. Cavill, 3-on-1, Strawn the only defender, and an easy layup for Garballo falls in.
And that's a huge swing. He had a chance to cut it down to one possession, and now it's all the way back up to 6.
And now Garballo again gets it to Cavill, goes up with it, and that one does not fall. So finally, Jorgensen and the Tigers can have a possession. 39-45, lead to 6 for Johnston. Jack Gale and the Tigers trying to right the ships. Attaway, heavy guard from Cavill, makes him have to step back. Now Jorgensen. Jorgensen trying to drive. Now he does, puts it out. Sam Strawn, 3. Too hard. Rebound, Gale. Now Jorgensen, he shoots a 3. That one's too hard. Rebounded by Johnston now. Wow, they don't call a jump ball, but Sam Strawn had his mitts on it. Cavill now blocked by Strawn, who came out of nowhere from behind him and swats that one away.
Yeah, Cavill looked like he thought he had a wide open 3, and just a great job not giving up on the play, just swooping in out of nowhere.
So the lead's still 6 for Johnston, 39-45, 3:49 on the clock in this one. Jenkins fits it inside. That's Hauser. Now to Garballo. The 3 is too hard. Rebounded by Attaway. Attaway gets it to Jorgensen. Jorgensen trying to find something now. This Tigers need a basket quick. They've been scoreless. Ball loose. Rebound to Garballo. Garballo now Jenkins goes up with and loses it.
Yeah, he
hits the floor hard.
Just got slapped on the arm as as he went up. That's a good call, but
Should be on the floor as he was fouled as the ball was in the air.
well, it looked like he got slapped and it got like bumped up by his hands as he went up. So that's the right call.
Yeah. One of those tough calls from our vantage point.
Yep.
Well, that's why you're doing color and I'm not, because you see better than I do. The first free throw is good for Jenkins. Joshua Jenkins makes the first one.
Well, as someone with glasses, I don't really get you see much better than I do very often, so thank you.
No problem. I'm also wearing glasses, so it doesn't really matter for me. 39-47. Leads now up to 8 for Johnson. Tigers got to get it past the midline, and they finally do. Jorgensen just felt the pressure and throws it off of the feet of Emory Jones just to slow things down.
Yeah, it's happened a couple times now in this fourth quarter where the Tigers have gotten it across, but they've immediately been trapped.
Johnson playing that full court pressure now. Attaway will go up, and he pushes off. They call an offensive foul. He tried to get separation. That's a tough call.
Yeah, just extended his arm right there, and you know, Attaway, you trust him when he's trying to create, but that's just brutal right there.
That is. He tried to get separation, but they say extends it too far out, and so I don't hate the call, but it's just tough in this situation as time falls down. Day goes up with 2, drops it in, and now the lead's to double digits. It's the first time all night leads to double digits, and it's in favor of Johnson. They lead by 10 with 2:40. If Valley wants something, they got to get points now. They've been scoreless for the past couple of minutes. Storbeck trying to get a spark, and that's the second time in a row he's called the foul but can't get the and one to fall.
Well, it's once again Storbeck. He's provided the spark for this team. He's kept them in this game just with how much effort he puts in, and without him, the Tigers would really be struggling right now.
First one falls for Storbeck. We'll see if he goes against the average in this one.
Hope so.
You hope so, because with 2:31 on the clock, every point matters in this one. Second one pure. So Williams now comes in for Jack Hill. They'll keep Storbeck on the court. 41-49.
Yeah, I feel like in this game, Storbeck has proven to the coaches that he needs to stay in this game.
So 30 seconds on the shot clock. Johnston Dragons get it past midline. That's Emory Jones. Now thrown away, Tyree Jones. Tyree Williams gets it off of Jones. Remick.
Oh my goodness. It got thrown back to Remick, and they called the over and back. Oh my goodness.
That is heartbreaking.
That's brutal. He would have had, he had a full head of steam.
He had full head of steam, and he dunked it, and it went in. That is an awful call to make in that situation. And the points go on the board. Tino Day lays it in, and the lead goes back to 10. Brutal for Valley. They got it. Joshua Jenkins just hits that ball out of bounds. If you're Valley, you got to calm it down. So Strawn now to inbound. Attaway has it. Now Strawn to Jorgensen. Jorgensen looking, trying to find something. Jorgensen makes sure not to pick up that pivot foot. Now Storbeck going underneath. Gets it to Strawn. Strawn, the pull-up falls.
Well, even though the odds are slim right now, there's still a chance here, down by 8 with a minute and a half.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yep.
It's an 8-point ball game right now. Dragons have it. Cavill, the mid-range. That does not count. 43-51.
Gotta have a bucket on this possession.
Jorgensen drives up, turning around, working on Cavill. That one's blocked. Storbeck tries to get the rebound, but nobody was around it. Joshua Jenkins. There's Jorgensen. He's got it. Count it. And no foul. Craziness.
But man, a great job by Keene there. Just knowing that the play was not over. Everyone had already gotten back on defense, and that kept them in the game. And now it's a 6-point game with a minute left, trying to complete this comeback. Those are the type of energy plays that you need to come back from, because this was a 10-point game about 30 seconds of game time ago. And it felt like if something didn't change drastically, that this game would go in favor of Johnston. And something did change drastically. The Tigers were able to get some quick buckets, and that has given them a better chance to win this game. Obviously, it's still tough being down by 6 with a minute left, but it's realistic now.
That it is. 62 seconds is all that's left in this one. Valley, they're going to have to stay strong on defense, down by 6. Both teams only have one foul to give now. Jorgensen trying to poke it free. Jenkins underneath, that's brutal, and puts the lead back to 8.
Yep, great press break there, and got to score fast now.
Jorgensen, the pull-up 3. Air ball. Williams has it. Attaway, another 3. Can't get it to fall. Jenkins now. And they're going to call the foul on Valley.
Yeah, it looked like he just went over the back and got him on the arm, and now it's really an uphill battle.
Especially if Jenkins hits both of these.
Yep.
Jenkins on the year is a 79% free throw shooter on 34 attempts. That's not that great for Valley. And he hits the first one.
Well, they haven't, in these last couple of close games, they haven't been able to finish it out, but they've fought really hard, and they really haven't given up.
Second one clings it in. So Attaway now, they're just going to try to get something. He will drive, goes up with it.
That's a goaltend.
It will goaltend.
Okay.
Garballo swats too hard, too early. So
whistle took a second. I was kind of concerned there.
So points count for Valley, leads now to 8, 33 seconds. She'll have to foul immediately. As shot clock's off.
Got a foul.
Clock
didn't move, and now it's still going okay. Some clock issues there, man.
So what are they going to call?
All right.
Refs deliberate.
Yeah. Clock didn't start, and then after the play, it went for about 2 seconds.
Johnston's going to take a timeout during the deliberation. Because here's the thing for Johnston. We've seen crazier things happen in basketball history in 30 seconds. It's an 8-point lead in this one. 47-55 right now, Valley leads. If you're Valley, you got to stay tight on that opening inbound. Because what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to either steal it immediately or do a heavy trap that only lasts a couple of seconds to get your paws on the ball. The issue, though, is, actually, there is no really other issue besides that. You got to get your paws on the ball quickly, because if not, Johnston can run away with the ball and milk precious seconds off the clock, or if you foul, you let them shoot free throws and potentially put it into a double-digit lead.
Yeah, and there's a volleyball court on this court, and basically, if the ball is passed inside of that, you have to foul immediately. Don't even try to trap. If it's outside of the volleyball court here at the field house, you have to try to trap at least.
And Attaway gets the quick foul. And that's kind of ironic. What caused the whole deliberation was the fact that the clock was at 31.9.
And then
but it shouldn't have been. Yeah. But now, after a correct start, this one falls to 31.9.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
It was meant to be, but Cavill now at the line. Nakare Cavill. drills the first one. 73% on the year on free throw attempts. This one to make it a 10-point lead. Cavill, he's been a little quiet in this second half, but makes a big noise with 2 straight free throws. It's a 10-point lead for Johnston. 31.9. Strawn going with some pace. Got to shoot it quickly if you even want a chance. He will go up with it. Hits off the front iron. Rebound by Storbeck, and now Johnston has it. They're going to go up with it.
Come
and
on.
it's swatted away. Joshua Jenkins was going to dunk it.
You don't need to go up for a dunk with 10 seconds to go, or with
16
in a
seconds
10-point
to go.
game with 16 seconds to go.
10-point lead,
Shot clock is
unnecessary.
off.
Yep.
You can just dribble the clock out. So.
And that's what Cavill was trying to do, but Attaway gets in there and wraps his arm around and draws the foul.
Yep. Well, they fought again, and that's really been a big improvement over earlier in the year. They would roll over earlier in the year, but now they're really starting to fight, and they just haven't been able to be in these late game situations, and they haven't been able to finish them out.
13.1 on the clock. That one falls for Cavill. Both go, so now it's a 12-point lead. Jorgensen with 10 seconds is just going to start going hard. And no foul. He hits the deck hard, but they say that it was all ball as Cavill just takes Jorgensen to the ground. 5 seconds. Williams Jr. knocking on the ball as the final clock sounds. The final score after the Tigers fall, 59-47. Johnston improves to 500 on the year. They go to 8-8. Not so much for Valley as they go 0-16 on the year. A tough one, a heartbreaker there. Valley, similar to the Ankeny Centennial game, fought and kept it close for the first 3. And then in the fourth quarter, Johnston just gets a hold of it and runs away. Any final thoughts before we tune away?
I mean, it's been a tough year, obviously. 0-16, you never want to see that. But I think they've really shown a lot of heart. And you know when you're talking about heart that the season isn't going well, but it's true. They've really fought despite not being in the best positions, and they haven't been in very good spots. They've gotten down, but they've just continued to scrap and claw, and that's kept them in these games lately, and they've really improved throughout the year. But as the season starts to get close to wrapping up, you really hope that this team can get a win, but it is going to be tough. But as we've seen in these last couple games, it is possible. They've had some good runs. So I look forward to the rest of the year, and hopefully they can pick up one as we wind down.
Yes, we do. Upcoming for Valley. It's next. It's this Saturday, actually. They're hosting, not hosting. Yes, hosting. I can't read. It's been a long day and a long week. They host the Crossover Classic, where they will face a bunch of teams in the CIML Des Moines area and a couple of East teams. Cedar Rapids County, Cedar Rapids, Washington, and Linn-Mar are those East teams. But a tough one here at Bill Caldiron Fieldhouse. Valley Falls, 59-47. Thank you all for listening. I'm Ian Nelson alongside Cole Sunderman with Brian Williams in the studio. We thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of your night, a great weekend, and we will be back on the air Monday afternoon for another great episode of Before the Buzzer. But that's all right here on 88.7 KWDM The Point.